Friday night of high school football. Tonight is homecoming for the Pleasant Grove Hawks, and they are going to be facing the Paris Wildcats. Looks like tonight we should have partly cloudy skies once the storm leaves the entire area, but the sun is out and partly cloudy. It's going to be in the mid-70s throughout the game with a slight breeze from 5 to 6 miles an hour. But not only do we have homecoming tonight, but we are also celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Pleasant Grove Showstoppers, and we have decided to start this evening's stream bringing on two guests that have a big part in the success that the Pleasant Grove Showstoppers have had for their 40 years. And I have with me the very first director of the Showstoppers, and that is Gail Burrows, and the longest-serving Showstopper director, which I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, Stephanie Carpenter. And both of these ladies have something to be very, very proud about. And Gail, I'll start with you. How did you become the first director of the drill team? Because it was not the Showstoppers when you first took it over. It was just going to be the Pleasant Grove drill team. So how did you come to be the director?
Well, actually, your dad, Jack Davis, and Mr. Blake, Leon Blake, who was our superintendent at that time, they called me and wanted to talk about creating a drill team for Pleasant Grove High School. And I was a dance teacher at that time. I was still in the crib, obviously, if it was 40 years ago, but I was excited about that because first I was honored that they would ask me to do that. With my dance background, it was I'd never had a drill team before, but I had knowledge to cover, I think, that job description. So we had plenty of meetings developing the idea. I did come up with the name the Showstoppers because I wanted it to be just this dynamite group that, present on the football field. The school was beginning to roll at that time. There was a lot of excitement. It was, adding grades and coming on up to varsity level. And to add a drill team was my hope that it would, create something that the whole district could be proud of. And I do think now in this celebration that what has happened beyond me has been such an exquisite experience, not only for all the young ladies that have participated, but also for this whole Pleasant Grove community, a source of pride. So I'm honored to be the first director.
Well, in the pride is definitely there, and you see that each and every Friday. And, of course, Matt Fry and I always mention how not only does that start in August, but many of these girls have been taking dance since they were 3 and 4 years old. But, as far as just developing that legacy, in my opinion, Stephanie, you are a large part of how the legacy has been, laid down for these girls. How did you become involved in the Showstoppers and being the director?
Well, I was a senior at the University of Arkansas, and I was applying for jobs, and I actually just was applying to be a math teacher. So I applied, I wanted to come back to Texarkana and start my teaching career. And I got hired to teach 6th and 7th grade math at Pleasant Grove Middle School. And Kelly Rogers was my principal. And so they hired me and everything was good. And then, I don't know, a few weeks later, maybe a month later, I don't really remember, Miss Davis, Margaret Davis, who's the superintendent at the time, she said, "Would you mind coming in? We want to run something by you." And I said, "Sure." So I come in. School hasn't started yet. It's in the summer. And she said, "We want to know if you'd be interested in being the director of the Showstoppers." So I'm like, "Sure." I had no idea what I was getting myself into. She said, "Well, that's great." And I said, so she interviewed me, asked me a few questions and things. And I was a high stepper. My director was Denise Carpellini, who actually started the Texas High Steppers. And so I had a pretty strong background with that and how she ran things and things like that. So I got the job. So they sent me to spend the day with Denise Carpellini. And she, basically showed me everything she could in that one day. And she was a director in Dallas at the time. Came back, and then I saw the letter the other day that they sent to the team that I was going to be the new director. They sent all the girls a letter that they had a new director and they were going to meet me at a certain time. What they also put in the letter was that when the camp was planned was actually during my honeymoon because I was getting married. And so they had to change camp for me and everything. I met the girls right before I left, and then I came home from my honeymoon on Sunday, and Monday we had camp. And I did it for 12 years and didn't know. They said, how'd you do it for so long? I said, I didn't know any different. That was my first job. So I taught math and did drill team for 12 years and then taught math, for 8 more years at Pleasant Grove High School. So that's kind of how it got started.
Well, tell us a little bit. One of the things that is I think looked forward to each and every year, and that's the spring show. Mm-hmm. And I've had 2 girls that have gone through the program myself, so I know how important the Friday nights are for the girls. But I think spring show is a little bit special. But there's something that you added, and maybe with the help of your husband. So tell us a little bit about spring show and how a particular number started showing up each and every year.
Well, in the spring of 1992, we were trying to think of something we could do. We were going to have a spring show, and we actually had it in the gym that year. And we were trying to think of something that we could do. Well, let me rewind. So back in the early 90s, that's when CDs players started coming out. And my father-in-law had gotten him a fancy CD player, probably from someplace like Soundtown or somewhere like that. And he had a sampler CD. It had all kinds of orchestra music. Well, there was one song on there. It was probably a 10-minute song. And it was Magnificent Seven, an orchestra version of it. And Kevin said, that would make a really good kick routine song. And so, I had it in the back of my head. So then we were talking about it. Jenny Bearden was the captain. Jenny Treadway Bearden was the captain at the time. And I came out with that song. I didn't come out. I said, well, here's this song. And we liked it. And it was like we played like the last 6 minutes of that song. So anyway, Kevin says he gets the credit for coming up with the music for Magnificent Seven.
and typically following that song is when tears are
They do, and I didn't know. I mean, but what happens is, and as a director, like I don't get emotional during that time because I want them to look perfect. And I want them just to look like one unit out there. So I'm like going, you better close at the right count. But through their minds, they get so emotional, especially for the seniors, because they know it's over. And they never get to do that again. And it's something they love to do. And getting out there and performing and being a showstopper, it's just something that's special. And so that's kind of why I think the tears flow. It's because it really hits them that this is it.
So...
And the music's kind of dramatic, which kind of adds to it. We do a little spotlight, at the beginning and things like that to make it, a little more dramatic. So. Well,
and this is one of those times where I may be asking a question that y'all don't have an answer to, but I'm hoping that you do. Mm-hmm. Where did the silhouette come from that we see?
I can tell you where it came from. The
Showstopper
Girl?
The stickers, yes.
So my first year, the Booster Club decided, and now my first year, things were small, and the Booster Club wasn't like it is today. I mean, we didn't have a lot of fun. It just gotten started, I think. Did you have a Booster Club, Miss Gail? I don't think you did.
No, we did not.
So it just gotten started, but the Booster Club said that one thing they were going to buy the girls were tote bags. And we got the tote bags from a company called Tote Unlimited, and it's kind of funny. It's just girl number 53 from Tote Unlimited. I didn't even order them. I think the director before me had picked them out or something like that. And
so it's girl number 53?
Or something like that.
Okay.
You can't. Right. I used to could get to their gallery, but I can't anymore.
Okay.
Or something like that. I may be saying the wrong number, but that's what it was. And so I guess because I stayed for so long, we just kept it. And so that's why we have Mag 7.
Well, Gail,
and that's why we have the Whites, too. The Whites started that same year.
Okay. Well, Gail, tell us about just maybe the most fondest memory that you have, or just maybe some memories that you can go back to. And
Sure. I definitely remember the day that we had tryouts, because I didn't know if we'd have 5 or 6 girls try out, but we ended up having, I think, close to 30 girls try out. And it was just a buildup of excitement for those girls, and for me, I was just so happy to have so many that turned out. And I think it might have even been the next day when we announced, who made the team and who were the officers. And we pinned them with little gold and black ribbons, and they got to wear those all during the week. So that was exciting. And then, of course, the first Friday night that we hit the field, we were so nervous. And back then, the Hawks were not like state winning. You know, it was just fun football. And when we lined up out there, you know, everyone was nervous, but they got out there, and I believe we did a kick routine, that first routine, and the response from the audience was, even from the visiting audience, was so overwhelming. They were so proud. They just beamed, you know, and I was so proud of them because they had gone to camp. We had gone to the Rangerette camp, and we had learned our routines, but we had not presented them anywhere. So I just remember being really proud of them at that time. And I'm so proud that this celebration has come about. That, I mean, Anna Hornsby and Christy Robinson and Lori Booker, there's been so many people that have made this such an overwhelming event. The celebration in the gym was decorated, you know, beyond compare. The meal that they prepared, and just, it's taken a lot of work, and I really appreciate it because we could have gone without any kind of recognition. And, you know, I feel like I was such a small part, and people more like Miss Carpenter spent so many years with the girls and have kept the level of the Showstoppers up to such a high level that this district should be so very proud. But I appreciate this celebration, and I know it took a lot of work and a lot of organization, but it has been such a success, and I look even more forward to the halftime event that's been planned for the Showstoppers.
Well, I shared earlier that I had two girls go through the program, and, you know, I don't think that even though I grew up as a principal's child and I got to go. I didn't have to go. I was able to attend many football games, and so I saw the Showstoppers perform. Most of them I thought were just as cute as could be, probably as well, and just thoroughly enjoyed seeing them, but I did not really respect all the work that it took to be able to put a performance together until my oldest daughter was a freshman. And when she started going to the camp during the summertime, and she started doing the summer practices, and, you know, I would just go ahead and call them two-a-days, and that's when I started seeing the blood, sweat, tears, bruises, and so that created a greater, you know, I guess, respect for what y'all have been able to accomplish and what the girls are able to do day in, day out. I would pay big money to any man who thinks that they could go out there and do any of the kick routines that the girls have planned this year.
Absolutely.
So I mean, you know, that part of it, the athleticism that it takes, that I think gets overlooked in most drill teams, and then I do think the Showstoppers take it above and beyond. I've also had the opportunity to go to some of the competitions, and when Pleasant Grove shows up, there's a difference. I mean, you start hearing parents even say, oh, there they are. And so I think that y'all can definitely be very, very proud of the, and I hate to use the word product, but what the Showstopper has become, and not only in our community, but recognized nationally. And you know, I think it's just a great thing that y'all have done. Stephanie, what are some maybe fond moments that you have that you can share?
Oh, wow. I mean, I'm just kind of think through the years. You know, my first year, you know, Jenny was the captain, and, you know, I say she trained me. But, you know, the friendship that we, you know, made then. I tell you what, this is what I value more than anything. The lifelong friendships that I have made with the girls and their parents. Their parents and the Showstoppers that will be my friends for life because I was the director. And because I got to know them. And I value that more than anything. I saw a few of them tonight. And, you know, I had their daughter 25 years ago on the Showstoppers. And, you know, their mother wants to come hug my neck. So.
Well, for those of you that are watching, you're seeing all of the different groups line up on the 45-yard line because we are about to have the homecoming presentation. And so once that gets started, which we're probably a minute away from, we will definitely send it back to them. But I am so glad that we were able to get y'all on tonight, and so glad to just know that the Showstopper organization is being celebrated this evening, and it definitely could not be where it is right now without the two of you.
Gosh, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And we're very, very proud.
Very doubt in my mind about that. Well, let's go ahead and we'll turn it over to the homecoming court, and shortly after that, we will bring you a football game.
Good evening and welcome to Pleasant Grove High School's 2023 Homecoming Court presentation of Fighting for Gold. The homecoming princesses were elected by the senior class. The homecoming queen was then elected by the entire student body. It is with great pleasure that we introduce these exceptional young ladies. Our first nominee is Haley Elizabeth Allen, the daughter of James and Amanda Allen. Haley is escorted by her dad, James. Haley is a 3-year member of varsity cheer, currently serving as captain. She's a 4-year member of UIL cheer team, a member of the NCAA Nationals and USA Nationals competition team, a 4-year member of Lady Hawk softball and was named first team all-district for 3 years. She's a 3-year member of Lady Hawks basketball and a 3-year member of Keyettes, as well as a member of National Honor Society. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Haley Elizabeth Allen. Our second nominee is Lily Claire Marie Buck, the daughter of Robert and Lisa Buck and the sister of Reed Buck. Lily is escorted by her brother, Reed. Lily is a 4-year member of Lady Hawk Soccer, a 3-year member of National Honor Society. She's a 4-year member of National Art Honor Society and a 3-year member of First Priority. She's a 2-year member of Keyettes, a 2-year member of Student Council, a 2-year member of National Technical Honor Society, a 1-year member of Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and a 2-year junior counselor at Brook Hill Ranch. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Lily Claire Marie Buck. Our third nominee is Madison Brooke Carpenter, the daughter of Brian and Karen Carpenter, and Madison is escorted by her dad, Brian. Madison is co-captain of the Lady Hawk volleyball team, having lettered for 4 years. She was named first team all-district. She's a member of Lady Hawk varsity basketball, a 3-year member of Keyettes and Student Council. She's a 3-year member of Yearbook, serving as sports editor. She's a member of Quill and Scroll, Art Club, National Honor Society, National Art Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society, and a 2-year junior counselor at Brook Hill Ranch. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Madison Brooke Carpenter. Our fourth nominee is Maggie Kate Clark, the daughter of Matt and Katie Clark. Maggie is escorted by her dad, Matt. Maggie is a 3-year member of varsity cheer, serving 2 years as organizational captain, a 1-year member of the UIL team, a 2-year member of the NCAA team. She is a silver and bronze medalist for UIL and 4th in the nation at NCAA Nationals. She's a 3-year member of Keyettes, currently serving as president, a 4-year member of Student Council, currently serving as treasurer. She's a 3-year member of National Honor Society, a 2-year member of National Technical Honor Society. a 3-year member of Lady Hawk Soccer, a 3-year member of First Priority, and has served as junior counselor at Brook Hill Ranch for 2 years. So ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Maggie K. Clark. Our 5th nominee is Madison Taylor Davis, the daughter. Madison is escorted by her dad, Robert. Madison is a 4-year member of National Art Honor Society, a 3-year member of National Honor Society, a 4-year member of Student Council serving as Pride and Patriotism Chairperson. She's a 1-year member of Quill and Scroll, a silver and gold key art scholastic medalist. She's a 3-year member of Keyettes, a 3-year member of the Pleasant Grove Showstopper Drill Team, and a junior counselor at Brook Hill Ranch. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Madison Taylor Davis. Our 6th nominee is Julia Grace Hackelman, the daughter of Stephen and Jillian Hackelman. And Julia is escorted by her dad, Stephen. Julia is a 3-year member of Student Council. She's also a 3-year member of Keyettes. She's a member of National Honor Society, a member of the robotics team, and a member of National Technical Honor Society. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Julia Grace Hackelman. Our 7th nominee is Catherine Elise Joyce, the daughter of Jean and Susanna Joyce. Catherine is escorted by her dad, Jean. Catherine is a 4-year member of Lady Hawk Soccer. She was named Freshman Soccer Newcomer of the Year and First Team All-District during her sophomore and junior years. She's a 3-year member of Keyettes, a 3-year member of National Honor Society, and a 1-year member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Catherine Elise Joyce. Our 8th nominee is Jace Ariel Ramos. Joseph and Judith Ramos. Jace is escorted by her dad, Joseph. Jace is a 4-year member of the Showstopper Drill Team, currently serving as captain and was junior lieutenant during her junior year. She's a 3-year member of Yearbook, currently serving as editor, a 4-year member of Student Council, a 3-year member of Keyettes, a 3-year member of National Honor Society, and a 1-year member of Quill and Scroll. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Jace Ariel Ramos. Our 9th nominee is Ryan Elaine Riggs, the daughter of Courtney Schomeyer and the late Terry Riggs, and the stepdaughter of Charles Schomeyer. Ryan is escorted by her stepfather, Charles. Ryan is a 3-year member of National Honor Society. She's a 2-year member of Keyettes. She's also a 2-year member of Student Council and a 1-year member of Lady Hawk Volleyball. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Ryan Elaine Riggs. Our 10th and final nominee is Lauren Michelle Stewart, the daughter of Chad Stewart and Dawn Kelly, and the stepdaughter of Lori Stewart and Jeff Kelly. Lauren is escorted by her dad, Chad. Lauren is a 4-year member of Lady Hawk Volleyball, serving as co-captain. She's a 3-year member of Varsity Cheer and a 2-time UIL state medalist. She is a 3-year member of Varsity Track, a 1-year member of Lady Hawk Softball and Basketball, a 3-year member of National Honor Society, a 3-year member of Keyettes, a 1-year member of Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and a junior counselor at Brook Hill Ranch. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Lauren Michelle Stewart. The entire homecoming court would like to thank their parents, friends, and PG staff for their support in the activities over the last years. So at this time, would you please join me in welcoming Pleasant Grove High School football team captains, Caleb Hackelman, Akari Johnson, Jackson Gibson, and Caden McFadden, along with Principal Kristen Giles, who is accompanying our 2022 homecoming queen, Ms. Supriya Sharma. Supriya will be crowning our new homecoming queen, and Principal Kristen Giles will present our new queen with a flower bouquet. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Our 2023 Pleasant Grove homecoming queen is Miss Jace. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you our 2023 Pleasant Grove homecoming queen, Miss Jace Ariel Ramos, and her court. How about a hand for the queen? And thank you all for your attention this evening. Hope you enjoyed this homecoming night. God bless you all.
All right. Congratulations to Jace Ramos, our homecoming queen this year, and she's a member of that 40th year Showstopper squad there, Jake.
And actually, she is the captain of the Pleasant Grove Showstoppers, and so she's actually going to probably be watching her team tonight.
Yeah, sure.
As she is going to be serving as homecoming queen to Pleasant Grove for this calendar year. And congratulations to all that were on the homecoming court. I know it's quite an honor for all the young ladies and their families. And this is just going to be the beginning of the nightly festivities and the weekend that is homecoming. I know they're going to have a dance to be able to attend to as well.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Looking for a big night of football. And so why don't you share a little bit of what you know as far as Paris and what Pleasant Grove is going to have to face.
All right, so we got
tonight.
the Paris Wildcats coming in this evening, and man, I tell you what, we've been down trying to get everybody parked this evening, and that was a chore just in itself on the north end. We started the some of the construction on the road coming around there, and it really cut off some parking. And so I've met a lot of the Paris coaching staff and the band staff and those folks tonight. But coming in tonight, Paris is 1-3. They lost to Salina. They lost to Van by 1 point right at the end, and then they played Gilmer. Lost on paper 40-43. However, that game was called early. They're on the 25-yard line going into score, and really neither team had stopped each other. I mean, 83 points scored in that game. Now, there may have been enough time for Gilmer to come back. You can never put that on there. But a game that wasn't finished there, and then they blanked Liberty Ilo 30-0. And, you know, it's one of those things, and we talked about it last year. I'm a little, I don't want to say concerned, but I'm certainly looking at this Paris team more than just, they're a 1-3 team coming in, and this is going to be something we ought to be able to handle easily.
Well, my notes say this is not a 1-3 team PG is playing tonight.
Right.
And mainly for the reasons that you said, 3-point loss to Gilmer, if you want to call it a loss, 1 point loss to Van. And what's unique to those two losses is that they missed 3 PATs during both of those games. So that could come into play tonight.
Yep.
Something just to be mindful of. But they are going to be another team, just like Pleasant Grove sort of faced last week, where their quarterback is going to be the best athlete on the field. And, it's going to be interesting to see. He's going to be number 22, 5'10", 5'10", 200 pounds, Trevin Hohenberger.
Yep.
And he is going to be coached by his father, Stephen Hohenberger.
And that's one of those things, we talk about Jackson Gibson. You look at his size, you look at that stuff, and you think, I don't know. The kid knows football. Why? Because he's the coach's kid. And sometimes that's just the nature of what it is. Now all of a sudden you got that at quarterback, so you've got a kid that is a great athlete. He's been able to do well. He's got speed. He can run with the ball. Oh, and by the way, his dad's been an athletic director for 11 years. The kid probably has watched a little bit of football over these years.
Yeah, and this offense for Paris has 9 returning starters, and they, and I actually spoke to Akari on Thursday on the sideline, and for some reason my mindset was that they were still going to be bringing back the wing tee, and he corrected me. He said, oh no, this is a totally different offense, and so they're going to be playing speed and space, and when you go back and look at film, it all goes through Trevin's hands or legs.
Yeah, and that's really that's what they want to do is put it to him. They got a senior linebacker in Elijah Turner, playing really good on that side of the ball. To Derek Dawson, he plays linebacker and running back. Defensive back junior Malik Johnson, and then a senior DeCorian Douglas, kind of their leading wide receiver that you've marked off here. And like I said, I'm interested to see how this goes. I talked to Coach Gibson for a while this week, and he told me, man, they can score. They're explosive. They've got those cats out there that at any time all of a sudden can turn it into something. And we noticed that last week with the quarterback. It was one of those guys that all of a sudden if he turns the corner on you, this could be in trouble. And this Paris, I think, has those same kind of athletes out there. And so I'm really interested to see if our defensive approach stays how it's been. Our defense has been stout in these first 4 games. And so this is going to be a test for them tonight, and I'm really interested to see that side of the ball. I think the offense made some strides last week. I think they did some things we wanted to see. But I'm ready to see how the defense responds to this. Sorry, I stood up thinking we were doing the national anthem, but we're doing the Paris school song.
Coach Darby and Coach Taylor are definitely, going to be, sending the house some plays, and then some plays they're probably going to play a nickel where that fifth DB is just going to be nothing but staying on the quarterback. And I think that spy is going to be very, very important tonight to be able to keep Trevin in the pocket and keep him from running and try to make them beat us with the pass and not just with his feet.
And you talk about that is the one area so far where we've been a little bit bitten by the injury bug. Walker Wright went out last week. Fortunately, that came back with much better news than what it looked like out there, and even after the game. And so, but I do know he'll be out for at least a couple of weeks, maybe back for the Gilmer game opening up. I don't know. And then also just the starter back there was out as well. And so who's going to be in that secondary for the Hawks out there? And somebody's going to have to step up.
Well, and KJ Reeder, I believe, is going to be out tonight. And a young man who toughness has been, an acronym, used with him since I've known him. Buck Anderson is not going to be playing at 100%, probably not even at 90%.
Wow.
He's going to be playing with nothing but heart tonight if he is able to get suited up. And, so Pleasant Grove definitely is going to have a couple of key people that we're going to have to basically, see next man up on this defense tonight. The good thing is I do think that the front is going to be the strongest point for Pleasant Grove. Over the last 2 weeks, 2 games, we've seen a lot more names being called from that defensive end, role, and even those inside guys. And so how's Jackson going to play from that defensive end? Wheeler, Bailey, Wooten. Those are going to be 4 names that I think that we're probably going to call a lot tonight with this mobile quarterback.
And really one of those things you talked about last week, alluding to that, is when you do have all of those guys that can play that and can perform there, that allows you to have your offensive guys just play on the offensive side of the ball. And really we looked a lot fresher last week in doing that. I also want to see our running game continue to improve. So many guys last week got touches in the running game. And that's one of those things, if you can constantly put somebody in with fresh legs and get them out there, that helps. TJ Cole comes in coaching that for us this year. That young man, all he did was go to Ouachita Baptist and finish in the finals of what equates to the Division II Heisman. And so that's one of those things I think for these players you got that cat out there saying, hey, this is how you run the ball. This is the mentality you got to bring to it. And by the way, I've got some receipts that can show you that, hey, I do know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, Nick Bales is, outside of Akari Johnson. He is leading that running back crew, with rushing yards, approaching the 200-yard mark. Should get that tonight. He's sitting at 187 yards. Caden McFadden coming in at 162. Jalen Boardley coming in at 151. And so, there's definitely plenty of horses in the stable. And I'm not sure right now. I've got a favorite because I love them all.
Yeah, and it's just been something good to watch. And what I like out there is when you say all those different names, to me, you can just envision a different kind of running with each of those guys. Caden McFadden's going to run hard. He's going to run violent. Nick Bales is just streaky, although we say that a lot, and then all of a sudden last week he tries to run somebody over. He's like, hey, guys, that's not my entire game. Jalen Boardley, big kid out there, strong legs, but then can break away on you, and we saw that on the long run a couple of weeks ago. That's what I like, too. All of a sudden you can change it up, rather, and you got some different looks out there for different people. In the passing game, really, last week didn't get Jackson involved too much. I'm trying to see what we do with that. Although, one thing we did learn last week, Landon West is a weapon coming out of that H-back position. And, man, I was impressed with that kid. He's out there. He's not super tall. But, man, he had good hands and then was really smart with the ball afterwards and ran the ball well. And that's a weapon when you got somebody that can just kind of sneak around out there, and all of a sudden there he is with the ball in his hands 8 yards down the field.
Yeah, coming out of the H-back, I believe he's averaging 12 yards a catch and does have 1 TD. And, so I definitely see him coming into play tonight as well. And, I think with Jackson Gibson, can he get his 5th game in a row with a TD?
Man, yeah.
Just 4 in a row is very impressive. But, not that that's going to be the goal of Akari tonight, but the relationship that the two of them have is special.
Absolutely.
That was one of the questions that I asked Akari on Thursday is, that connection that he has with Jackson, and he just, sort of talks back, going back to playing 7-on-7, and each of them just knows what is going to happen in this scenario.
Absolutely. Here the Hawks are making their way out on the field in front of a capacity homecoming crowd here at home, and they've got the new shiny gold helmets on this evening, and you like to see that. I know they were very excited when they got those new uniforms and that stuff. You like to see all those change-ups. That's something that's very important to those cats when they're out there. So they're coming out on the field, and now the Paris Wildcats are making their way out down there on the north end. And shortly we'll get this going. I do want to let you know that we're going to have a special national anthem tonight. We've got a trombone group who's going to be playing. You've got 4 of our students. We've got a really great trombone section in the band this year. So junior Luke Williams, senior Aaron Evers, junior Owen Braza, and senior Philip Lamb are out there. But they're going to be joined by 2 of our own. Our director of jazz bands, Ed Grissom, is going to be playing with them. And our director of bands for everybody, Jay Sutton, is going to be playing. So those 6 guys out there will be playing trombones. You can see them there on the sideline, getting ready to go. So a special presentation of the national anthem tonight. And we came out the other morning, and they were trying to see if they needed microphones and all that. And I said, no, man, you guys are loud, making a bunch of noise. You don't need any microphones. And so look forward to letting you see that, and just kind of a special thing for the homecoming crowd this evening. And here come the Paris Wildcats. Of course, they're wearing their white travel uniforms and the silver tops there. And, man, they showed up. They brought 8 buses down here today, and their band is really big, and so they brought everything with them. And so excited to see how this goes. This game is always a big one. It's always one of those. I think it's been on the schedule with Pleasant Grove most years.
And Paris always plays Pleasant Grove tough, and I mean, it's tough in the trenches. And I mean, there's never been a time where Paris did not give it all the whole game. And like I've shared, yes, Pleasant Grove's coming in, four touchdown favorite.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean anything to me, just because of how they've possibly lost some of those games. they're just not a 1-3 team to me. And, I think there's also a little pride, too. This is the second homecoming game that they've been the visiting team.
That's right.
And that's got to hurt a little bit.
We'll see how
little pride there.
How they respond with that for sure. Yeah, because you start getting into homecoming games and all of a sudden you're thinking, you know what? I'm going to show you something here in front of this crowd. Well, hey, here is our 6 trombone players we were telling you about, so we'll go to the field and let you hear from them.
I have the audience in my.
Great job from them. That's pretty cool. And you will see those 4 student trombone players. They will be climbing on top of one of those big prop contraptions during the show in the 3rd section. And so you've seen the show Ascension grow each week. And so during halftime tonight, you'll see a little bit more of that. The captains for both teams making their way out to the field for the Hawks. Number 4, Jackson Gibson. Number 1, Caden McFadden. Number 75, Caleb Hackelman. Number 2, Akari Johnson. Coming out for Paris, number 22, Tevin Hohenberger. Number 1, Kavarius Cooper. And the 3rd one for them is in the middle, being blocked by the referee. We'll see what their call is, though. Looks like Paris has won the toss. So we're going to spin them around.
Number 5 is Dacurian Douglas.
Yeah, so Paris did win the toss. They have elected to receive, so the Hawks will start on defense. And so we will see this Paris offense quickly to get this started. They are going from south to north tonight. Really not much of a breeze. There is a little bit of wind and cloud cover coming from the north, kind of toward the southwest. And now you can hear Quinn getting the crowd fired up here as we get ready for kickoff here, and hopefully we can get this thing kicked off and rolling. Back deep in the middle for Paris is number 6, Keyshawn Roberts. Over on the left side is number 4, Malik Johnson. Carter Buxton will be kicking the ball off for the Hawks. Has it teed up on the left hash there at the 40, and we'll see if Mr. Buxton puts this out of the end zone. Like he has been known to do, we're ready to get this thing started here at Hawk Stadium. It's homecoming night for Pleasant Grove.
And hopefully the distractions are not there for the young men.
High kick into the end zone, and so the Wildcats will start at their own 25-yard line as we get this thing kicked off with them on offense.
Well, based on what we've seen so far of Paris, scoring should not be an issue for them. They do have an opponent that Pleasant Grove will be playing later in district that they have played, and they actually did shut out Liberty Ilo 30-0 in that game.
Terrell Patton is getting the start out there tonight in the linebacker position for the Hawks. Man in motion now. The Wildcats Quarterback keeper Hohenberger coming around the right side. He's up across the 30. Gets near the 35-yard line. It'll be close to first down yardage.
And Landon Jackson, one of the many Hawks there for the stop. And good fake there by Hohenberg.
And the Wildcats, one of those teams, they'll come back to the line. Sure, they have a quick call, and then they'll look over to the coaches, see if they can get a call in to adjust to how the defense is there. Two receivers to the left side, one on the right side. Man in motion now right to left. Hand the ball up the gut to the tailback. And he is bottled up quickly. That's number 15, Chris Houston, on the carry. Several Hawks involved in that one. Mathis Buxton, the first man in there for Pleasant Grove.
Yeah, Lance Jackson in there as well.
Second down and 9. A little quick pitch out to the right side. Breaks a tackle. And that's number 2, Marcavius Washington. Just like a long handoff out there over to the right side, and he's going to pick up maybe a yard on the play. He gets it up to the 38-yard line. It's going to bring up third down and 7.
And this is exactly what Pleasant Grove wants to do, put Paris in these third and long situations to put the ball up in the air is the greater option for them.
Two receivers stacked on each other to the left side. Quarterback wants to throw across the formation. Caught. Akari Johnson makes the tackle on Washington. He's going to be just shy of the first down. Man, about half a yard, and that's just a good open field play there by Akari Johnson. And the Wildcats quickly coming back here, and here at your own 45. Feel like they're going to go for it. And did a little hard count, see if they can get the Hawks to jump. And now they look back over to the sideline. This is a big play here, even early in the ball game.
Well, it's a momentum setter if they're able to get this first down this early.
Less than a yard to go for the Wildcats. 2 on the right, 1 to the left. You figure this thing is staying close. Hohenberger going to keep it. And his forward progress is going to get him the first down. The Hawks do a good job of collapsing in there, end up knocking his helmet off. He needed half a yard. He may have got a whole yard. And it does move the sticks. Noah Sexton, the first man in there for the Hawks. But it is a first down, 1st and 10 Wildcats at their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, good movement by the Paris line. Really not much you can do when you've got a quarterback as mobile as Hohenberg.
2 to the left side now, 1 to the right side. They come out of the Wildcat formation here. Looks, oh no, Hohenberger came out, so Jadrian Henderson came in as backup quarterback. And that is a shot there. Xavion Johnson comes up. And that run play just took a little bit to develop, and Johnson came up and made the ball carrier pay for it.
And he stayed home. And so that's what enabled him to be able to make that stop and keep it to a short game.
2nd down and 7. Empty backfield now for Hohenberger with 3 to his left and 2 on his right.
Yeah, that's going to be important for the cornerbacks and linebackers tonight, is not necessarily peek inside too often.
Quarterback keeper in the middle as they have him stretched out. Now bouncing out to the outside. Breaks a tackle there. Caden McFadden comes up to make the tackle. And Hohenberger's going to have enough for the first down, and that's one of those that you do what you can to get as many defenders out of the box as possible, and then Hohenberger just a little patient run to move the sticks. Quickly back to the line now are the Wildcats. Free play here, firing it down the field. Incomplete. Akari Johnson was close, but probably going to have a flag on this one. Like one of the Hawks got started just a little bit early on the right side, and Hohenberger threw it up to see if he could get something.
Yeah, I'm impressed with this Paris offense so far, because most teams have not wanted to throw on Akari, and we've seen two passes in that direction tonight.
5-yard penalty moves it down inside the Hawk 40 to the 39-yard line. It'll be 1st and 5 now. Again, an empty formation. Hohenberger by himself in the backfield. And again, he gets the Hawks to jump, firing it down, and it'll just be incomplete. Sales there, but Wildcats are going to get a free 5 off of back-to-back offside penalties for the Hawks.
Yeah, a little eagerness there, and we're going to have the opportunity to come and talk about it on the sideline and get some fresh Hawk in there to take over this first down and 10 for the Wildcats.
1st and 10 at the Hawk 34-yard line. Wildcats started this drive on their own 25. There's 9 minutes remaining in the first quarter. This is the first offensive possession of the ball game. Hohenberger gets the call from the sideline. Quarterback keeper into the middle. Brought down by Caleb Hackelman.
Yeah, one of the things that the Wildcats had a lot of success with last week was spreading the field and then Hohenberg just going right up the center. So Pleasant Grove doing a good job keeping that to a short game.
4-yard pickup on the play makes it 2nd down and 6. And, you know, we saw Midland Christian with a little bit of success early in that game running straight into the middle of the Hawk formation. And maybe the Wildcats seeing some of that. 2 receivers stacked on top of each other now to each side. And Hohenberger has tailback back in the backfield with him. That's Chris Houston. Hand it off to Houston. He's trying to bounce it left. Breaks off of the first tackle, gets to the second level before he's brought down by Xavion Johnson. Houston get him down within 1 yard of the first down. 3rd down and 1 now with the ball at the 25-yard line. And now the Wildcats quickly back. Tried to get the Hawks to jump, and they don't. Now we see what the whistle is. There's a flag on this side. False start against the Wildcats, and so they tried to get the Hawks to jump. And instead they jumped, and so now 3rd and 1 turns into 3rd down and 6. This would be a good opportunity for the Hawks to get off the field here. Ball goes back to the 30-yard line. Still with 2 receivers to each side. Hohenberger waiting on the snap. Again, looking to the sideline to confer.
Defense making some adjustments as well.
Handoff once again goes to Houston. He just keeps his legs turning, gets down inside the Hawk 20 to the 19. It'll be enough to move the sticks, and Paris finding some success running into the middle of the Hawk defense early in this one.
Yeah, Caden McFadden there with the stop. Tough running by Paris there.
Again, looking over to get the call, make sure that his line knows.
Pleasant Grove staying with their call.
Quick pass out to the left side, complete.
Fumble.
Ball comes out. The Hawks are on it. And it's going to be Pleasant Grove football, and that's what we needed. Good play. And the man over there is Noah Sexton jumping on the ball, and little pass out to the left side. Let's see who was able to knock that out. Dakarian Douglas on the reception, and Caden McFadden does a great job coming across, gets his hand on the ball, strips it out, and Noah Sexton in pursuit jumps on it, and now it's Hawk ball, 1st down and 10 inside our own 20 at the 18-yard line. And now we'll see what this Hawk offense can do as Zachary Johnson and company come out on the field. Nick Bells getting the start at tailback. Zachary has 2 receivers stacked on top of each other to the left side. 1 man on the right side. Hands the ball off to Bells, trying to come left. Bells cutting it up into the formation. The first man there is Kavarius Cooper. But Nick Bells picks up about 5 yards on the play. He'll be up near the 24-yard line. 2nd down now for the Hawks.
Yeah, 2nd and 4 are some good play calls that Coach Gibson will be able to have under his clipboard.
2 receivers out on the right side now are Jalen Boardley and Jackson Gibson. Kari hands it to Bells again. Bells looking for some room in the middle. That time he slung forward for a few yards. Number 23, Tadarian Morgan, makes the tackle. He may have thrown Bells across the 1st down marker. It'll be enough to move the sticks. 1st and 10 Hawks at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, Bell's looking good and being able to follow his line into the holes that they're giving him. So 1st down Hawks.
Now Jackson into the H-back position. They move him over to the right side of the formation. Bell's still back in the backfield with Akari Johnson. And the Hawks are going to call a timeout. Wanted to talk about it a little bit and see. Make sure we have the right play. 6:13 remaining in the first quarter. That timeout brought to you by Texas A&M Texarkana. They're one of the many sponsors here for us on Texarkana Game Day, and all the commercials you see, all the tags you see around the corners of our show, those are the folks that allow us to come to you each and every week free of charge right there on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you let those folks know how much you appreciate what they do for us. And A&M Texarkana specifically for sponsoring our timeouts. I'm a graduate of there, Jay.
As I am.
2005. Seems like a long time ago.
Nah.
Hawks with 3 receivers in a triangle to the left side, 1 on the right side. Now Jalen Bordley in motion. They fake to him. Akari wants to throw. He's in the backfield by himself, has some time. Fires down the field. Caught. Complete to Jackson Gibson right near midfield. It'll be enough to move the chains. 1st and 10, Pleasant Grove. Jackson Gibson comes all the way across the formation. You see him break off of a block right there. Gets himself just right there in the middle of the zone.
Threading it right between 2 Wildcats there. Great pass, great catch. First down.
Sorry, put that ball where it needed to be. 1st and 10 now at midfield for the Hawks. Single back next to Akari. They hand it to him. It's Bells once again. He leans forward, picks up a couple of yards on the play. Wildcats read that one well. Elijah Turner, the first man there. He's a senior linebacker. Clock rolling inside of 5.5 minutes. Scoreless so far. The Hawks' offensive drive starting after the defense forced a turnover at our own 19-yard line. Now Akari Johnson and company. Getting the call in to come out of the huddle with 15 on the play clock. 2 receivers wide on the right side, 1 on the left. Now Torian Phillips comes out on the left too. Handoff to Jalen Bordley. Bordley, little change of pace back, and we talked about it in the pregame, Jay. All of a sudden you get a different look out there. And you go from Nick Bells chopping his feet, kind of a small guy, all of a sudden Bordley covering about 2.5 yards with each of those long strides, and he gets it on down the field. Just a little off-tackle run. It's a first down for the Hawks inside Wildcat territory all the way down to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, tough running there by Bordley, and glad that it was run to the left side because the right side definitely had some penetration, so hopefully we'll be able to get that addressed as we go throughout the night.
Splitting them out 2 on each side. Akari wants to throw. Pump fake left. Firing down the field. Has a man there. Caught! No, incomplete. Out of the hands intended for Jace Elrod. Akari put it where it needed to be. Elrod just unable to see it in. Let's look at this Texar instant replay. You see the pump fake to Bordley. Elrod had his man beat. Just unable to see it all the way in. Falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down now and 10 for the Hawks.
We'll chalk that up to the lights.
Absolutely. Fake the handoff again. Pitch it out. This time, ball complete to Jaden Scales. Scales coming around the left side at the 20. Scales knocked out of bounds at near the 15-yard line. Jaden Scales on the long handoff. Turns on the Jets and gets it down inside the red zone.
Yeah, number 24 to Carrion Gray there for the stop for the Wildcats. Also number 9 helping force him out. Braden Beck. He was actually special teams MVP when they played Liberty Outlook.
1st and 10 now for the Hawks at the 18-yard line. They split the receivers, flip them to the other side of the formation. They send Baltimore and Phillips to the right side. Akari wants to throw, rolling to his right. Has a lot of room. He's going to pull it down. Akari Johnson inside the 15, 10, 5, touchdown Hawks! Akari Johnson from 18 yards away does it with his legs. And the Hawks strike first on homecoming.
Yeah, anytime that your quarterback can score from 18 yards out without getting touched, that's pretty impressive.
He turns it north and south. He turns it into another gear. Caleb Jones set to kick the extra point. Snap is back. It's a little low. Gibson gets it down. The kick is up, and it is good. 4:08 remaining in the first quarter. Your score, Pleasant Grove 7, Paris 0. We'll take a break. You're watching Pleasant Grove Hawk football on Texarkana Game Day.
What's it like at Texarkana College? life-changing. Starting here means you can go anywhere. We offer student support, student life, dual credit, and hands-on training. And now you can enroll anytime. We'll help you start your future at Texarkana College. Get started by visiting us on campus or online at texarkanacollege.edu. Your future starts here.
Welcome back here to Pleasant Grove Homecoming, where Akari Johnson got the crowd on their feet with an 18-yard touchdown run around the right side. Hawks lead at 7-0, 4:08 in the first quarter of this one as Carter Buxton has the ball teed up and set to kick off once again. Hawk defense bent last time. The Wildcats got it all the way down inside the 20, and then they forced a fumble. We'll see how each team adjusts here on the second offensive drive. But much like the first one, this one will begin on the Wildcat 25-yard line.
And definitely want to take time now to thank our presenting sponsor, Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, Gregor Auto, Roe Casa, and Reliance Mechanical. And also want to thank my fellow employees with State Bank.
Absolutely.
Not only did we cook for the teachers today, but they are manning the concession as we speak.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, we know that you guys were on campus here at the high school today. And
Clayton Wisdom said he was going to bring me a Frito pie.
Did he?
Sometime this evening. So
is he going to bring you 2 Frito pies?
If you would like something, I could let him know
maybe
to duplicate
2 Frito
that.
pies. Maybe 2 Frito pies. Hornberger and company now back out on the field for Paris. Handoff goes to Markavian Washington, trying to get around the left side on a little end around. Hawks do a good job of stringing this one out. Number 18, Jamon Wheeler and Ty Boozer, both involved with the defense on that one. Pick up a 4 yards on the play, 5 yards on the play, rather, up to the 30.
Yeah, with this Pleasant Grove defense, I don't know if Paris is going to want to stretch these running plays out very often.
Hornberger, side to side doesn't work really well. Hornberger has Chris Houston in the backfield with him. He moves him over to the right side. He has 2 receivers out wide each side. Hornberger, quarterback keeper around the right, and he's just going to keep it. Nope, fires it down. Tipped in the air. Incomplete. That could have been dangerous, and that's one of those. That's kind of that dangerous no man's land. You back up to cover a receiver. All of a sudden you give him some room. Maybe you come up, don't stay disciplined, and he can throw it over your head, and the Hawks covering that one well to tip it up, and it's 3rd down and 5.
And although it's not raining, the ball did not come out as crisp as I've seen him during pregame. Just wonder if maybe the field's still wet.
Be a little damp out there. Unbalanced now with the receivers with 3 on the right side. Looks like somebody got moving a little bit quick on the other side. The ball is complete, though. A little quick pass in the middle. That's Keyshawn Roberts. And he's going to get it up near midfield, up to the 47-yard line.
Xavier Johnson there for the put down of the wide receiver there.
Xavier Johnson leading the team in tackles so far for the season.
And that was more of a hit than it was a tackle.
Yeah, he went down, though. 4 receivers stacked up, little receiver screen, and this is going to be incomplete. And I tell you, even if it was complete, I think Jaden Scales was involved in the middle of that play before the ball got there. They're trying to get it out to Keyshawn Roberts.
And it was behind the line, so I think that it's going to be backed up.
Yep, it's going to back it up. It goes out of bounds, and so, yeah, it is. And they were just trying that little wide receiver screen, but I'm telling you, ball going out of bounds behind the line may have been the best situation for the Wildcats in that one.
Jamon and Jackson switching sides.
2nd down and 16 now. 3 receivers right side, 1 to the left side. Hawks still showing pressure. Hornberger wants to throw, firing down the field, incomplete, just sails over the head of his intended receiver, Vicarian Douglas. Jaden Scales in coverage for the Hawks.
Impressive on that.
Stayed right there in his pocket. Maybe would have liked to see him turn around a little bit, but he did not allow the receiver to get away from him. And really that play, not a lot of touch on that ball, just Hornberger kind of throwing it up there, seeing if his receiver could run underneath it. A little bit too much.
Yeah, Jamon Wheeler doing a little bit of, threatening to put some pressure, but he's dropped back to coverage the last couple of pass plays.
Yeah, and he really has done well. Again with 2 receivers split to each side. Hornberger gets the snap, hands it off once again to Chris Houston.
Yeah, Landon West there hanging on, and Noah Sexton to finish him off. I think Landon was wanting to try to get someone in.
Houston across midfield to the 46, and the Wildcats quickly back to the line on 4th down. Big 4th down play here, 4th down and 3. The Wildcats need the 43-yard line for the first. We'll see if this Hawk defense can get a stop here. I'd like to see Jamon Wheeler do something from this left side. Quarterback pulls it down. He's going to have just enough for the first down. They wrestle him down near the 40. But it is going to move the sticks, and that's just a good patient run by Hornberger. Noah Sexton comes over to make the tackle, but usually if your linebacker's making a tackle and it's not on a blitz, you're going to have a little bit of yardage. 1st and 10 now. The Wildcats at the Hawk 40, and this is kind of how their opening drive was, Jay. Nothing real flashy, just 3-4 yards at a time, and that time they're able to convert on a 4th down. Clock rolling now inside of 2 minutes in this first quarter. Hawks up 7-0. Handoff once again goes to Houston. And I'm telling you, he's just a hard-nosed runner. Several Hawks had a chance at the beginning of that, and he just drove his feet. Noah Sexton finally able to bring him down, but a hit at the line of scrimmage is still a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, nothing special, just straight down the middle. And that Paris line definitely getting some pressure, but the legs of the running back just been pretty impressive tonight.
Good hard running there by Houston. Hornberger goes up again, makes sure his line knows the call. Handoff Houston again. This time the Hawks stand him up right at the line of scrimmage. Noah Sexton, the first one in on that. Terrell Patton also coming in to help clean it up. 3rd down and 4. Wildcats at the Pleasant Grove 34-yard line. This time they huddle up, take a little time. We're down to 15 seconds on the play clock. Clock inside of 35 seconds now in this opening quarter. Houston rocked in the backfield. Jamon Wheeler, and that time Wheeler just brings some pressure from the left side, meets the ball carrier in the backfield.
Well, we brought in Mathis Buxton there to shore up that right side of the defensive line, and that allowed Jamon to get back there quick.
And they're not going to call a play here. 2 seconds left, and we are down and end with the first quarter. Your score at the end of 1, Pleasant Grove 7, Paris 0. We'll come back with a Paris 4th and 6 on the other side of this break. You're watching Pleasant Grove Hawk football on Texarkana Game Day.
Life is busy, and we get it. The State Bank mobile app was designed to make banking more convenient for you. Check account activity, make transfers, pay bills, and manage your debit card in a snap. You can deposit checks from the convenience of your home or wherever life lands you. The State Bank app lets you organize your accounts, manage alerts, and easily email our customer service experts. Now that you have State Bank at your fingertips, you can spend more time doing what's important to you.
Your family, your bank, State Bank.
Welcome back here to Pleasant Grove as we get ready to start the second quarter. Pleasant Grove leading 7-0, and the Paris Wildcats come back 4th down and 6 to go. Ball at the 36-yard line of the Hawks, and we will start the second quarter with a big play. 2 receivers on the right side, 1 on the left side, H-back over on the right side as well. Hornberger wants to throw, firing down the field, incomplete, nearly intercepted, trying to get it out to the carrying Douglas. And so the Hawk defense stands strong. Ball goes over on downs to Pleasant Grove, and now Akari Johnson and company set to come back and get this thing at our own 36-yard line.
Yeah, I can assure you the field's a little damp because Akari did slip just a little bit, and the ball was there, but receiver just did not keep it in his grasp, and it almost hit Akari in the hands as well. But Pleasant Grove takes over. Only has to march about 63, 64 yards for a touchdown.
Corey Johnson fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, wants to throw. Firing down the field. Caught! Lance Jackson at the 30. Lance Jackson, 10, 5, touchdown Hawks! Jay, you said they needed 63. And Akari and Lance said, we'll get it all at one time if you don't mind.
There's nothing wrong with that. And when we see this replay, you're going to see a pulling guard do a phenomenal job keeping two men off of his quarterback. And I believe that is Mr. Caleb Hackelman, who is going to go to Oklahoma State.
As soon as this kick is over, we'll give you that replay. And we'll stay here with it since we just came from a break. Waiting on the kick now. And now they whistle it ready. Snap is back. Kick is up. It is good. There's 11:42 left in the first half. Hawks leading at 14-0. Let's check out that replay. And you'll see Hackelman, number 75. Well, that's 76.
That's Smith.
That's Big Darryl Smith. And you're right, two guys there. Darryl coming out, and then look at Jackson jump up and get that, and then all of a sudden turns it on and gets down there. Yeah, Darryl Smith, pulling guard, came out there, and you're right, had two guys that he stopped up to keep off of his quarterback, and that young man's put in a ton of work, and really proud to see him out there doing that. He and Hackelman both, I've known both of those kiddos since they were both way shorter than me, and now they're both bigger than me and taller than me, so there you go.
Yeah, 6'4", 6'4" plus for both of them, and I'm going to say big guys.
Big guys, because they're
I'm
strong.
Talking muscular.
Yes, sir.
Big guys.
Yep, big and strong, and I'm a big guy, but not for the same reason. So there's that. Hawks set to kick off now. This time kicking toward the north. Carter Buxton with it teed up on the left hash once again. Karian Douglas is back deep. So far, he has not had a chance to return anything. And this time into the wind. Instead of kicking it 8 yards deep, Buxton kicked it only 3 yards deep. Some scores from around the area and our schedule. Longview Spring Hill trailing Tyler Grace Community 14-7. Pittsburgh and Sabine all tied up at 7 in the first quarter of that one. Carthage up 7-0 over Bullard. Texas High is up 6-0 over Hallsville. Gilmer playing Prosper Walnut Grove. They're up 14-7 in that one. And Liberty Ilo trailing Sulphur Springs 15-14. Interested to see that in the Battle of Cats over there.
Well, Sulphur Springs better watch it, because Liberty Ilo's been a second-half team this last couple of games.
Yeah, and hopefully they can get something going over there and take themselves into the break on a little win streak. Hornberger back in shotgun, hands the ball off to Keyshawn Roberts. Roberts trying to get around the right side, and he takes a shot. Xavion Johnson coming up from the free safety position. That's one of those little hello darlings out there on the corner.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Paris is going to have to stick with north and south. Trying to stretch those plays is just not working for them tonight.
Nets 2 yards there, 2nd down and 8 to go. Two receivers split to each side. They're stacked on top of each other over on the left side at the bottom of the screen.
Landon West.
Now Hohenberger moves Houston to the other side. West, see if he comes up, and he does. Late pitch. They get it to Houston. Johnson makes the tackle for the Hawks, and see Landon West come up, and that's one of those, just that option that the quarterback has. He does move the chains, gets it up across the 35-yard line to the 37, and Landon just needed a friend up there with him.
Well, and I think when Pleasant Grove is going up to do that, the containment player that Landon was that play has got to stay on the quarterback.
Absolutely. Yeah, because it's 2 to each side now. Hohenberger pulls it out of the gut, coming to his left. Hit in the back. That is Noah Sexton again. Sexton, several tackles tonight. He's an 9-yard pickup on the play, though, up across the 45 to the 46-yard line. And again, the Wildcats kind of moving it down the field. The Hawk defense, though, has come up big 2 times, once forcing a fumble, another time stopping them on 4 downs as we tightened up once it got down into the Hawk side of the field. Clock now rolling inside of 10 minutes in the first half with the Hawks up by 2 scores.
Yeah, Hohenberg was slow to get up for those first 2 steps. So just wondering how much he'll be able to take this whole game. Pleasant Grove laying licks on him.
Took a little pop there, and they're going to take a timeout. I'll tell you, we're going to take one with them. You're watching Pleasant Grove Hawk football on Texarkana Game Day.
Here at Local Habit Coffee Company, we are true coffee connoisseurs and the area's only third-wave coffee shop. We are excited as football and fall rolls around to introduce this year's fall drink lineup. We have an all-organic homemade pumpkin spice latte, a delicious s'mores latte, and finally, a smoked maple bourbon cortado that can only be described as fall in a cup. No matter what your preference, you can get your dose of fall right here at Local Habit. We cannot wait to see you in one of our shops, and remember to go make something good happen.
All right, welcome back here after the Texas A&M Texarkana timeout. As the Paris Wildcats take one, they want to talk about it here. 2nd down and 1 near midfield. Hohenberger and company coming out. Trevin Hohenberger, the senior quarterback, playing for his dad over on the Wildcat side. 2 receivers stacked on top of each other. Everybody in tight now in this formation. Man in motion across. They fake to him. Hohenberger wants to throw. It's pitched underneath. Pass is complete to Chris Houston coming out of the backfield. Jaden Scales comes up to make the tackle.
Ooh, a very, very good spot for the Paris
favorable
Wildcats
there.
here.
Let's watch this here. They needed.
I think he walked in on an angle.
Yeah. I think he was a little bit behind there if you look at those hashes.
I'm sort of glad that timeout or that replay stopped where it did. I was going to get a little mad.
3 receivers to the left side, 1 on the right side. Of course, replay not a real thing in high school, so we can't throw the challenge flag or anything or spike it like Belichick did last week. Hohenberger, quarterback keeper, going around the right side. He has some room. It looked like a busted play. And he just turned it into something. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication down the field, but he showed a little bit of the speed there as they get the ball into Hawk territory down to the 39-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, KJ Greer now into the game. Have a little size to that defensive line.
Wildcats are going to spread them out with 3 to the left and 1 to the right side. Single back formation. The back is Chris Houston. Hohenberger rolling left. He wants to throw. Firing into the flat. Caught. Complete to Marcavius Washington.
Yeah, Johnson there quick to make the first contact and just kept it to a short gain of about 3.5.
3.5 looks about accurate. 2nd down now. And yeah, a little dangerous when he came by the first there. Almost grabbed him by the helmet. I think if he'd have held on a little bit longer, might have had some laundry out there on the field. Split receivers with 2 to each side. Man in motion left to right now. Pass, though, out to the left side. Ball's on the ground. But DeCorian Douglas able to get back on it, bounce back up into his hands, and that's twice now that the Hawk defenders have been able to strip a ball out. That one bouncing fortuitously for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Torian Phillips doing a good job keeping him in front of him. The little strip.
First hand hit the ball, second hand wrapped him up. 3 on the right side, 1 to the left side now. Trying to get the Hawks to jump. Didn't make contact, though, so now the Wildcats look over to the sideline to get the play. 5 seconds on the play clock. Hohenberger wanting to throw. Rolls to his right. Has some room in front of him, trying to direct his receivers. Breaks off of a tackle, and then he falls down there. Jace Elrod making the tackle out there, and boy, just got a hand on him, but just enough to twist him around. You can see it kind of.
The right ankle there.
Yeah. Tweaked him up a little bit when he reached around and grabbed him. Kind of grabbed him by the thigh pad, I think, when he brought him down. Clock rolling inside of 7 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first half. Fourth down again, 4th down and 3. Ball on the 32-yard line. For the Wildcats, they need the 29. Big opportunity for this Hawk defense. With 5 seconds left, I think they're going to let this thing roll down, and they're going to take a timeout again, and they are once again. Paris Wildcats wanting to make sure that you know all the things about A&M Texarkana, because they call another Texas A&M Texarkana timeout.
Beautiful campus out there off of University Drive.
Yep.
So you spent a little time there this week. The Alumni Association has an event coming up on October 5th called Eagle Roundup. It's basically homecoming for them. And we have given out some distinguished honor or distinguished alumni spots, and some of that was taking place this week. So a lot of good things going on off of University with Texas A&M Texarkana.
Well, now, I didn't get my letter on that, so when am I supposed to get that sometime soon, or what do we?
You were supposed to have returned that. So,
that's okay. Well, then any of my professors from back then will probably tell you that explains why it didn't make it then.
Yeah, we tricked everybody this year. We put it like a credit card bill. And
then everybody just threw it away. Yeah, it's like I don't want to see this when it gets there. But no, great campus and a great asset to Texarkana, and big thanks to them for sponsoring Texarkana Game Day. Big 4th down now after the Paris timeout. They're going to send 2 receivers on the right side, 1 to the left side. They got an H-back up to the left of Hornberger. Now a man in motion. Fake the handoff. Late pitch out to the right. Not going to get it. The Hawks read it well. And that is Jalen Bordley coming up from the linebacker position to bring the ball carrier down. And once again, the Hawk defense stiffens in our own territory and makes a tackle. Good play design. I really thought it was going to be a first down, and Bordley came streaking across the formation to bring the man down there in the open field.
Well, and I'm really, really excited to see Bordley be able to react that way, because my eyes were actually going in the opposite direction. So Bordley sniffed that out pretty early and made that very good tackle to be able to turn the ball over on downs.
And look, now he's in it at tailback. I was thinking to myself, man, now I'd give him the ball and let him try to run for a score here. And look, he's out there. Let's see what happens. 2 receivers, splits each side. Akari Johnson in the backfield, pitches it to Bordley. Bordley with a big stiff arm. Breaks a tackle. Bordley coming around the right side at the 40. Stays on his feet, knocked out of bounds near the 45-yard line. Jalen Bordley. And that's grown man football running around the right side there.
How about
Look at
that?
the replay here. Big stiff arm to the face. Not today, young man. Get your weight up. And then I'm going to cut through the defense, break a couple of more tackles. Another stiff arm there. And Jalen Bordley says, I want to get all you cats some shine. You're all going to show up in my huddle video. Hawks quickly back to the line, handing it to Bordley again. Off tackle to the right, makes it across midfield. Excuse me, that's not Bordley. That's Nick Bells. A little change of pace there. Yeah, Bells coming in.
Elijah Turner there for the stop, one of their leading linebackers.
Hawks with tempo now. Hand off to Bells again. Bells will have the first down. Bells down inside the 40-yard line. 1st and 10. Pleasant Grove. Landon West out of the H-back position. Good block down the field. And again, the Hawks with tempo. 1st and 10 at the 40. Moving quickly. Johnson gets it. Hand to Bells. Bells going left now. Weaving his way through the middle. Brought down by number 8, Salvador Gomez. And now the Hawks changing out. Bells comes out. Caden McFadden comes in. K-Mac gets the handoff. Tries to go left. Breaks into the second level. He's brought down by number 1, Kavarius Cooper. McFadden gets it down to the 30. That's going to move the sticks. 1st and 10, Pleasant Grove. And the Hawks are saying, hey, we'll show you we can run the ball as well. Bordley coming in now. He's giving Justin Castile a breather. And now Lance Jackson coming in at the H-back as Landon West comes out. We're rolling inside of 6 minutes remaining in the first half now. 2 receivers stacked on the right, 1 to the left side. Jackson Gibson is over here on the right. Lance Jackson is in the H-back. Hand the ball off to K-Mac. K-Mac just runs around the right side, gets inside the 20. all the way down to the 17-yard line.
So Jackson Gibson, McFadden, Bordley, and Lance Jackson all in the same. I like it.
And they're all on the right side of this thing. Bell's back in at tailback now. They hand to Bell's. Bell's coming to the right. Cuts it inside at the 10. He's going to be slung forward. He's about 2 yards shy of the first down. Gets it down to the 9-yard line. Brought down by Beck Braden, senior defensive back. And now, referee saying stop the clock, reset the play clock, and here we go.
Jace
Trying to get it to
Elrod,
25. There we go.
Yeah, Jace Elrod stacked to the bottom of the screen. See if he gets another opportunity.
Hand the ball off to Bells. Bells looking for some room in the middle. He's going to be close to first down yardage. We'll see where they mark this. It'll be right at the marker. They need the 7. And they're going to say he got it to the 7.5.
We need Fox Sports to send us the technology for that first down
The
mark.
line to go
Yes,
across there? That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Just call Morgan Smith.
2 to the right, 1 to the left side. Jalen Bordley now in at tailback, and he drives the pile forward all the way down to the 1-yard line. First and goal for the Hawks. Elijah Turner making the tackle.
Yeah, he was able to get back there and just sort of trip Bordley up to keep him from getting full speed.
Quickly back, Bordley with it. Bordley flipped over again, no gain on the play, 2nd down and goal. So the Wildcats defending that one well. Now Bordley will come out for a breather. Nick Bells comes back in. Justin Castile is in at receiver for the Hawks now. Jackson Gibson over here on the right side.
Do we see an Akari keep?
Not a bad play when you have him at quarterback. Jackson going to the left side with Justin Castile. Over on the right side by himself is Roland Ritchie. Nick Bells the tailback. They fake to him. Akari wants to throw. Rolling to his right. Akari breaks the tackle at the 10. Lowers his shoulder near, and he's going to be down. There's a flag on the play. Maybe in the area of a hold, and we'll see what the call is. Akari was trying to get an opening there to Jackson Gibson. He couldn't get open in the back, and there's a hold against the Hawks. So they're going to mark it back from there. And so we turn a short 2nd and goal into a 2nd and goal from the 12.5-yard line. So now the Hawks will come out of the huddle. We've been using some tempo here. There's 3:34 left in the first half here. 2nd down and goal for the Hawks. 2 receivers split to each side. Nick Bell's the tailback. Akari Johnson back in shotgun. Pump fakes to the left. Throws. Caught in the seam. Jalen Bordley gets it in. Touchdown, Hawks.
It was like slow motion.
Yeah, it did. It took forever to develop.
I mean, the speed of the game there just slowed down for Bordley, and then just him able to finish that off. Very, very impressive.
And, you know, maybe he just wanted to pad the stats. Why go for a 2-yard touchdown? Back it up and get 12. Not sure Coach would look at it that way on the whole. Ty Boozer set to kick the extra point. Snap is back. Kick is up, and it is good. 3:23 remaining in the first half. The Hawks lead this thing 21-0. We're going to take a break. You're watching Pleasant Grove Hawk football on Texarkana Game Day, and check out the homecoming court running the flags in the end zone.
They are prettier than last week's.
Absolutely. Welcome back here to Pleasant Grove as we get ready for another Hawk kickoff. 3:23 remaining in the first half. The Hawks lead at 21-0 on the 12-yard Akari Johnson to Jalen Bordley connection. And Bordley punched it in for the touchdown. And now Carter Buxton set the kickoff once again.
You were actually getting ready for your B-reel.
I did my B-reel while we were talking right here live on the air. How you like that? Two things at once. Buxton, high end-over-end kick into the end zone. And the closest man to it is the third trombone player for the Paris Wildcat Band. So if you look at the stat lines, the Wildcats are going to have some stats on offense everywhere except where it matters. And that's on the scoreboard. The Hawks, in 3 offensive drives, Paris has been able to get it down the field. The Hawks forced a fumble and then 2 turnovers on 4th down. And that's the story of the first half for the Paris offense against this Hawk defense.
Yeah, I think a score here is very important for Paris because they are not getting the second half kick.
2 receivers to each side. Hornberger rolling to his right. Breaks a tackle in the backfield. He's going to pull it down and run with it now. And Hornberger has some room. Has enough for the first down up near the 40. And that play took a little while to develop as well. And Hawks had some opportunities for that one in the backfield. And that's one of those when they go back and watch it on film. Just a little okey-doke back there in the backfield.
Chris Houston there doing a good job blocking down field for his quarterback.
3 receivers left side, 1 on the right side now. Xavion Johnson came up and ended that last play, but again, coming from the safety position, it's 1st and 10 at the 39. 2:40 now and rolling in the first half. Ball goes to Houston. Houston gets bottled up, and the Hawks read this one well. They're going to give him 2 yards on forward progress, but several Pleasant Grove players met Houston there.
Yeah,
Big Eddie Tank.
Yeah, he grabbed on and just rode him to the ground for a 2-yard gain.
2nd down and 8 to go. Now you see they allow a little more time to go off the clock here. Some of that gamesmanship, and as they try to time this thing, they sure don't want to give the Hawks another chance. 3 right side, 1 left side. Hornberger rolling left, fires, caught, no, incomplete.
May have heard
Perhaps
footsteps.
Markavian Washington heard some footsteps, yep. And he's unable to bring that one in. Took a little shot at the end of it. And now it's 3rd down and 8 to go. Three receivers to the left side. And they're going to let this thing. They've got one more timeout. We're going to come to the line now. 8 seconds on the play clock. The clock is stopped at 2:01 on the incomplete pass. Everybody in tight. Hornberger pulls it out of the gut. Hornberger breaks free in the backfield, firing down the field. It's going to be incomplete. This thing sailed to the left. He was running too hard, and boy, he was doing everything he could to get away from Isaiah Wooten. And the senior came in now. The Wildcats send in the punt team for the first time. 1:54 remaining in the first half, and we'll see if we see a little bit more of that tempo from the Hawks.
Yeah, good pressure there by the left side on the defensive line to keep Hornberger just having to throw off that back foot and basically put too much mustard on it and overthrew everyone.
Kari Johnson standing near the 25-yard line waiting on this kick. High kick. Bounces inside the 30 and takes a Paris roll. It'll be down right near the 20-yard line, and so the Hawks have 1 minute and 42 seconds, 80 yards to cover. Earlier we did it in one play to Jalen Bordley. Now we got a little bit more time than that with 1:42.
Five plays is fine.
5 plays is fine. Now we can get it done in 5 plays. You do want to stick around at halftime, though, because we've got a special guest coming here with us, Jay.
We do. Jay Strickland is going to come and chat, and he is with Livewire Electrical Services, and he's got a pretty neat product that we've actually run some commercials for, but we're going to have some time to talk about that.
So we'll see him at halftime along with the Showstoppers and the Hawk Band. 3 to the right side now, 1 to the left side, though, for Akari Johnson because we've still got 1:42 in this first half to take care of before we get to the halftime show. Nick Bells is the tailback, and Akari goes up, making sure his line knows what to do. 13 seconds on the play clock. Akari wants to throw, pulls it down, has some room in the middle. Akari Johnson looking for some space at the 30. Akari Johnson on the move, all the way at midfield into Wildcat territory before he's drugged down by Adrian Gill. But Akari Johnson, the senior trigger man, doing it with his feet. And he just ran through the defense, picked up some good blocks down the field. JoJo Bailey down there leading the way. Hand it off to Bells now. Bells trying to come left. Lowers his shoulder into the gut of number 11, Keeland Wright. Bring up 2nd down and 5 as he gets it inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. 2 receivers stacked up right side, 1 left. H-back in is Jackson. Hand the ball off now to Caden McFadden. K-Mac with some room in the middle. He's going to have the first down. K-Mac running with some strength and power all the way down to the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Hawks. Akari Johnson now running to the left, steps out of bounds, inside the 30. Didn't have anywhere to go with it down the field, and so he decides to step out near the 27. 2nd down now and 5 to go. 48.2 seconds remaining in the first half. The Hawks are up by 3 scores.
I think this is my 5th play.
Is this the 5th one? So this is the one. This is the one we needed on. 27 yards away. Might be a good time for Jackson Gibson to get his 5th of the season as well. He goes out to the left side, standing behind Jalen Boardley. 2 receivers on the right side. Lance Jackson lined up in the wide receiver position. This pass is complete to Jabrian Baltimore. He's going to have enough to move the sticks. 1st and 10 Hawks. Clock stopped temporarily at 40 seconds. Waiting on the chains to move, and now it's rolling again. 1st and 10 Hawks at the 21. Snap is back, handed off to Bells. Bells with some room in the middle. Bells keeps his feet going. And Nick Bells, and the Hawks are going to call a timeout to kill the clock. 2nd timeout for the Hawks. 1 remaining, 29.6 seconds. Ball is down to the 12-yard line. So the Hawks definitely wanting to punch this thing in before we get to halftime. Again, in addition to learning about Livewire, we're going to get to see the 40th anniversary rendition of the Showstoppers. Jay, did either of your girls come up for?
They did not make the trip,
I got you.
so they may or may not be watching as we are talking now. But hopefully they'll be supporting the ones that did show up. I'm pretty excited to see how many of our young ladies and now women are able to get out there and perform for the home crowd for homecoming.
Should be a good time. Hawks now out of the timeout, the Texas A&M Texarkana timeout. Bring them back. 2nd down now. 2nd and 2 to go. That matters less than the 29 seconds, 12 yards from the end zone. Zakari Johnson and company come out on the field. Nick Bells is in at tailback, lined up to the left of the senior quarterback. Akari wanting to throw, looking left. Now looks back to the right, surveying, trying to find somewhere to go. Firing it now toward the end zone, incomplete, nowhere to go, trying to get it to Jabrian Baltimore, but Paris doing a good job in the secondary there. Now it's 3rd down and 2 for the Hawks. Pleasant Grove does have another timeout remaining.
And the offensive line doing a good job there, not letting any of the Wildcats through to give Akari plenty of time to try to find an open receiver, but Paris doing a fine job in the defensive backfield there.
2 receivers split to each side. Bordley and Gibson to the right. Little throw over the left side. Complete to Torian Phillips. Ball comes out. Nope, they're going to say it's incomplete. Incomplete pass, and boy. That one was really close, Jay. Torian trying to turn the corner. Maybe turned a little bit quickly quickly rather, before he saw the ball in, so it's incomplete. Because the Wildcats did fall on that. But it's incomplete. Now it's 4th down, and the Hawks set up for a 30-yard field goal. Carter Buxton doing the kicking. Snap is back. The kick is up. It is good. 8 seconds. 6 seconds remaining in. I bet you they're going to make us put a little bit of time back on this thing. There'll be fewer than 10 seconds remaining in the first half. We'll stay here with it and get ready to go to halftime. And do want to thank our scoreboard sponsor, Commercial National Bank. You see their logo right there in the middle. Somebody told me last week, I kept trying to figure out how much time was left. I see the C and B, and I tried to explain it. So getting time onto here is a trick. Now, when we get the new video board, when all that gets up, we're going to be able to feed that to here, but can't do it right now. That's why we have to give you the updates every once in a while, but we do appreciate Commercial National for bringing our scoreboard to us each and every week. And right now, that scoreboard looks good if you're a Hawk fan, 24-0 as we get ready to kick this thing into the halftime locker room. And here, do you short kick this thing a little bit, Jay, and see if we can get coverage down the field and go ahead and kill these 6.2 seconds? Or
I cannot see them wanting to run the last play anyway. I'll go ahead and kick it out of the end zone.
Kick it out and see if they kneel on it. We'll wait and see. Buxton has it teed up as he likes to on the left hash. A high kick. And that time it hits the top of the H in Hawks in the north end zone. And so we will have a snap for the Wildcats. Reminder, the Hawks do get the ball to start the second half. And so far the offense has scored. Every time we've come down the field, we've had 4 offensive drives, 3 touchdowns, and a field goal. That is the difference here. The defense has forced 1 punt, 2 turnovers on downs, and 1 fumble. That's the story of the 4 drives on offense for the Wildcats. And this will be an offensive drive, but they consist of just 1 play here. 6.2 seconds left. We'll see what the Wildcats try to do here. Hawks have a lot of guys stretched out in the backfield. K-Mac is far back. Ty Boozer, both of them standing about 20 yards from the line of scrimmage. Just a little zoom sweep. And that's the way the first half will end. Lance Jackson making the tackle. Your score at the half, Pleasant Grove 24, Paris Wildcats 0. And that's what we take as we go into halftime. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and we'll come back with tonight's halftime guest. You're watching Pleasant Grove Hawk football on Texarkana Game Day.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
We are back where Pleasant Grove is leading 24-0, but we've got a special guest with us who is an expert on a new product now available to Texarkana's home and business owners. He is a Pleasant Grove class of '89 alum and owner of Livewire Electrical Services. Please welcome Jay Strickland. How's it going?
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me here tonight. It's great. Be here at homecoming and 40th anniversary of the Showstoppers. That's back in my time.
It is, and but we didn't get to play on this field though. This is where we actually practice. So things have changed, and we've got some updated facilities now. So, what do you think about the facilities that you've seen tonight?
This place is amazing. I mean, it's definitely got a college feel to it. Back in our day, it was a dust bowl and a hill that we used to run all the time.
Well, I know in one of our previous stream broadcasts, we ran a commercial showing the product that we're going to talk about tonight, and I just commented how cool it was. But explain to our viewers about Gemstone Lights.
It is an architectural lighting system that goes up on the houses. It goes up under the eaves, and it's kind of a seamless transition from the fascia board under the eaves, so you're not seeing it really during the daytime. Where you're really going to see it is when you light it up at night. This also goes on businesses with different mounting aspects. But you can run different patterns, different colors. Like last Friday night and tonight, my house is wrapped in Pleasant Grove colors. Last Saturday night it was Texas Longhorns, and Sunday night was Dallas Cowboys.
Well, you had me at Texas Longhorns.
Right.
So I'm good to go there, but we've also got Morgan Smith on here. You can actually speak from experience.
I can.
You've had it done to your house.
Yeah, so he called me. He was like, hey, we have this cool new product. I want to maybe see about helping us market. And I was like, hey, I've already seen this product. My wife saw it on TikTok, and I randomly already knew what it was. Like, man, we want this installed on our home. So we got that lined out, had it done first part of this week. Doesn't take a long time. You can't even tell it's there. But at night, it is amazing. Someone who really, I love Halloween. I love doing the Christmas stuff. And this is the perfect thing. You never have to put them up, never have to take them down. Even like right now, we have architectural lighting up. So it just really makes your home look great. It's just a one-time fee. It's not even really expensive. And it's just, we've had a bunch of our neighbors email us, message us on Facebook or text messages asking hey, who did this? It really makes your home stand out and is an awesome product. And there are hundreds of just predetermined settings you can put it on, or you can make your own. So right now we have our house is green, and it has the whole paranormal look where it's blinking, here and there. We're ready for Halloween. I can't wait.
Well, Jay, Morgan mentioned all the different options and things like that. How do you control all these options? I mean,
all this is controlled by an app on your phone, Android or Apple, and you don't have to be at your house. I can be right here at the game, and I can change what I've got going at my house from right here.
See, that seems like such an awesome product to be able to have, because like you said, you've got high school sports you can support on Friday, college sports on Saturday, NFL on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday nights.
Yeah. And all the holidays they have Easter patterns. 4th of July, they have great patterns for that. Christmas, Halloween, even Cinco de Mayo.
Well, what else?
Have Valentine's Day too,
yes.
Jay. Don't forget about that.
Nothing wrong with that?
They just brought out the Barbie pattern too.
Oh yeah, they got
movie.
Disney.
Yeah,
it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen as far as just to go on your home. And plus, you don't have to get up and put Christmas lights up.
I know there was probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I went a little above and beyond, and it's one of the few times I've done that with lights. But I was a little surprised at my electric bill that came in. Is that going to do that with these lights as well?
These lights are LED, which is going to be a lot more energy efficient than incandescent style. You've got, if you were to run these lights 6 hours a day for a month, it's going to cost you less than $5.
Let's talk about just getting that estimate. What are we looking at there?
Call, and myself or Chase will come out and do a measurement of your house. We'll draw it up with the pictures on your house and write you an estimate up based on your footage, the controllers you're going to need, the power supplies you're going to need. We'll put it all that in a little pre-package, send it an email to you, and you can choose any extra options you want to in that package.
Well, full disclosure, I actually went through this process myself this week. So we met at my house, and you were able to match the paint to my home for the tracks. We even discussed some lighting options, measured the outside of my home. You were done within 20 minutes.
Yes, and you had your estimate this afternoon.
This morning. And so,
yes.
Basically 24-hour turnaround to get to my house, 24 hours to get my estimate. I've still got to talk to my boss about getting it approved. But, I mean, it's an incredible product. So what made you want to bring that to Texarkana?
I'm always interested in the smart home technology, some newer technologies and stuff like that. So when I came across this product, I'd looked at other products, but I really researched, and one of the main things about this product was the app, because I went and looked at other product reviews. The app reviews on this one, I think, are 4.7, 4.9, somewhere around there. They're higher reviews. Got to talking with the people that distribute Gemstone, asked them about it. We went through their training process, and all my guys went through their training process that we have, which is about 8 or 10 hours worth of training on it. And then we went out and practiced on my home and saw some improvements we needed to make, and it's going to be a process where we'll get it down perfect. I mean, the last 2 jobs we did have not been bad. So,
well, tell us a little bit about what's the expectancy as far as this system. How long are these lights going to last?
They are rated to last 23 years at that 6-hour time limit. And if one light goes out, all of them come apart, so you can go back in there and replace an individual diode if I need to.
Okay.
I'll make you a prediction. If you're someone who's going to put up Christmas lights and go out and buy them, you need to just get this estimate. If you're someone who, these Christmas lights, if someone comes out and professionally does them, you're talking thousands of dollars, $5,000 to $7,000. At this point, you need to just do gemstone lighting.
Right.
I mean, it's cool. It goes up, stays up. You can use it for different things all year. You can use it for architectural lighting. Like, I'm not like a product person. I'm never going to sit here and talk about how great a product is, but I'm telling you, like this particular thing, like we couldn't be happier having it on our home.
Well, Jay, what else would you want to share with us tonight?
Right now, we've got an introductory rate going where you can get up to 10% off up to $500 on a system. If you buy a system before October 15th, we'll also include you in our membership program, where we'll come out and do an inspection on your home, give you a recommendation of anything that you need fixed, stuff like that right there. That's a $350 value we're throwing in on that. We do offer financing on these systems as well.
Jay, you have no reason to say no now.
I understand that. Well, I think the biggest thing that our viewers are probably questioning right now is how can they find out more information about gemstone lighting?
2 ways right now, because we haven't got it up on our website because we just went live with it in September. That's gemstonelights.com. Or you can flag down one of my guys seeing a Livewire shirt. They've got literature on them all the time. And our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's Livewire TXK.
Awesome.
Well, we appreciate you giving us some time and sharing this information. The videos that Morgan has posted so far is pretty sharp. And so I'm looking forward to seeing, how many houses you're going to have lit up in Texarkana just for Christmas.
I'm hoping we get to do about 25 or 30 more before the end of the holidays, and then we'll turn our attention to businesses.
Well, Morgan, what have you thought about the game so far?
Well, coming up here in the press box, I kind of like y'all's view a little bit better than mine. It's a hard-hitting game. Paris isn't a bad football team. I know the score doesn't indicate that right now. They're playing good football. They're making mistakes as they're moving the football and losing the ball. But Pleasant Grove's just doing what they're doing. Kari Johnson is showing why they call him Superman.
Well, Jay, starting in 2017, Pleasant Grove's had a couple state championships since then. What does this football team and what does this school district mean to you now that you're a little bit older and wiser?
Oh man, it makes you want to suit up one more time. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I understand that.
This atmosphere is contagious. It's exciting, and we've been to all the championship runs that PG's been to. Go watch and support them. Got 4 kids in the school district now, so.
Well, I appreciate your time. We're going to catch the rest of this Paris Wildcat Band performance, and then we will bring on the Showstoppers and then the Pride in Motion Band.
All right. Thanks for having me.
All right, this is Matt Fry back with you at halftime here, and that was the Paris Wildcat Band. And I do want to thank Jay Strickland, Morgan, and Morgan Smith and Jay Davis for their halftime thing. I do want to again remind you that people like Mr. Strickland and his company Livewire are the reason we are able to come to you live each and every week here on Facebook or on YouTube as one of our presenting sponsors, and so we certainly appreciate their support for allowing us to bring these games to you each week. Big treat coming up now, the 40th anniversary of the Pleasant Grove Showstoppers, our amazing national award-winning drill team. And they are going to be joined out on the field by a bunch of alumni this evening. A bunch of ladies who have been part of this program throughout the years are going to join them in a dance out here on the field. And so this will be the first time so many of these ladies have made their way back out here. This started all the way back in 1983. And so we've got alumni of all ages who are going to join us out here. And so we're going to turn this over to them and let you enjoy the 40th anniversary of the award-winning Pleasant Grove Showstoppers.
Stephanie Carpenter, Jeannie Beard, Casey Rampy, my favorite, Timothy Beck, Lori DeBreeze, current director Christy Robinson. A very special thank you to our anniversary event sponsors, Silver Spoon, Top Rentals, and Mayo Manufacturing. Our anniversary event.
What a fun thing there, the Pleasant Grove Showstoppers. You see all of the directors throughout the years who have put in all the time with young ladies from year to year. And just an exciting thing. And now they got 10 years to prepare for the next one in the 50th anniversary. Coming up next, the Pleasant Grove Pride in Motion Band will be performing their show Ascension, and getting more of that show on the field. And, we have the trombone players who started off tonight with the national anthem. Be looking for those guys to have a special solo section in the middle of this show. You'll see them climbing up some of those towers that they have there. And also, in the new movement that you're going to hear some songs that you probably recognize from the radio, and some of that. So just a good time, a fun show coming up from the Pride in Motion Band. Next Saturday, a week from tomorrow, right here at Pleasant Grove, we'll be hosting the Pleasant Grove Invitational Marching Contest. You can come and see bands from all around the area performing all day long. It begins at 9 o'clock in the morning with a special performance by the Pleasant Grove Pride in Motion Band, and then we'll end the evening with a performance from the Southern Arkansas University Mule Rider Band. Lots of former PG and other area kids in that Mule Rider Band, a fantastic college band. So really just a good time of bands next Saturday. And we don't have a game Friday, so you can rest up Friday night, come out Saturday, and be here for the Pleasant Grove Marching Invitational. But we're going to give it to the field and let you enjoy the Pride in Motion Band's version of Ascension, as they get everything tied up over there on the sidelines. Make sure they get everything powered up. There we go. Here's the band. Little sound check going on.
direction of Jason, assisted by Tony Dickey.
There's the Pride in Motion band. Incredible performance of Ascension out there. And again, you can see them and several bands from around the area next Saturday right here at Pleasant Grove at the Pleasant Grove Invitational Marching Contest. And Jay, band has changed a lot over the years. You see all the props and everything out there. Both teams, both schools having that, and that's just one of those things that
I am biased.
Kind of changes. Yeah.
But we won halftime too.
Well, absolutely, we won halftime too. We did a great job out there. Good to see that. Some other scores from around the area. The first one here, Paris North Lamar up 20-0 over Wills Point. I don't know if North Lamar is better or if they're not playing anybody. I don't know what the answer is, Jay. But good to see them getting a win. My alma mater, the Hooks Hornets, up 35-6 over the Paul Pewitt Brahmas. And our sixth grade team, we have a little tackle sixth grade team, a lot of Pleasant Grove kids. They're playing Paul Pewitt tomorrow. And so that's a big game coming up for them. So good luck to those guys tomorrow. The Redwater Dragons are trailing New Boston 28-16. That's interesting to see how that game ends up over there on the other end of the county. Spring Hill is trailing Tyler Grace Community 24-20. Pittsburgh and Sabine all knotted at 14. It's halftime there. Carthage up 24-7 over Bullard right at halftime there. Texas High leading Hallsville, their first district game down there. The Tigers leading that one 16-7. Gilmer up 42-35 over Prosper Walnut Grove. That one nearly at halftime. And Sulphur Springs up 36-22 over Liberty Ilo at halftime. Talked to somebody about that one at halftime. They said really neither team can stop the other one, both of them scoring several times. So that's some scores from our schedule.
Well, and I'm hopeful that all the teams finish out this evening with little to no injuries.
Absolutely. That's what I went in talking to Coach over there, and I said, hey, what's something to look at in the second half? And he said, well, we need to stop the stretch. We need to be able to meet them at the corner when they try that to us. He said, and let's get out of this thing with no injuries and take a week off and get ready to start district play. And I said, well, maybe we'll run the ball a little bit too. We'll see how that goes.
There's Morgan Smith catching some pitchers right now.
Yep, you can always see those usually on Saturdays on the Texarkana Gameday Facebook page. You'll see a lot of photos from the game and all those action shots that you see. He's there. Wildcats coming back out on the field over on their side. Beautiful shot of the new field house under construction there. You can see a lot of the walls on the second floor going up and being installed. Most of the first floor walls are installed. And so that thing is moving along. And if you looked out, if you came to the game tonight, or if you ever saw off the north end out there, lots of dirt work has started in the area where the baseball, softball fields are going to be. It's exciting to see the dirt work. The 4 acres of parking that we lost tonight made it a little bit of a challenge to get everybody in down there, but we made it happen. The Hawks will receive the ball to start the second half here. Running from south to north, Jalen Boardley in the middle of the formation. Back there. Torian Phillips back there as well. And the Wildcats over there talking about it as they get ready to come back out here to start the second half.
We need to have a second feed, sort of like the Mannings, where everybody gets to see what we're doing, dropping papers.
Man, it's
getting stacks.
Would not be nearly as wouldn't be nearly as entertaining as the Mannings, but it would be about equally as far as visual appeal.
True.
What I have in beard, Peyton Manning has in forehead.
Yeah, Peyton Manning was involved in one of the roasts that appear on TV every once in a while, and he got demolished pretty good about his forehead.
Waiting on the kick here, 2 different kickers for the Wildcats. High end over end kick, and it is a fair catch. And so the Hawks will have it at the 30-yard line. Cade Martin making the fair catch, and I bet you they talked to him a little bit. He ran around with the ball a couple of times, and they might have said, son, you're up there in that area for a reason. We appreciate the enthusiasm, but he was quick to call a fair catch at that time. So the Hawks will scrimmage 1st and 10 at our own 30-yard line. 70 yards away from the end zone as we get ready for the third quarter here. Pleasant Grove leading this thing 24-0 in the final warm-up before we have a week off in the McGinn District down in Gilmer. 3 receivers on the right side now, 1 to the left for Kari Johnson. He rolls to his right, wanting to throw. Throws it underneath to Jackson. Lance Jackson lowers his shoulder, runs over number 14, Jaquel Davis. He'll get credit with a tackle. Jackson gets the first down, 1st and 10 all the way up to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, Jackson making that look very, very easy.
Hawks using tempo, quickly back to the line. Hand the ball off to Nick Bells. Bells with some room around the right side. Struck down, kind of an ugly pull down from behind, and there's going to be a horse collar added to the end of this. So Bells got it all the way to the 45-yard line. We're going to move this thing down to the 30. Dangerous looking tackle there.
Yeah, Kavarius Cooper there for the tackle, but did draw the penalty. I was looking at stats last year, and he actually had 97 tackles last year.
So definitely one of their primary defensive threats. So that moves it down to the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Pleasant Grove. Zakari gets them huddled up. Has 2 receivers to his left side, 2 on the right side. Nick Bell still in at tailback. Kari wants to throw. Out here to Jalen Bordley. It's caught by Bordley at the 20. Breaks off a tackle. 10, 5, knocked out of bounds. Tried to tightrope it down there. It'll be enough to move the sticks, though, all the way down to the 11-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Hawks, and Jalen Bordley with a good run after the catch. Caught it at the 24.
First down for the Grove.
And stepped out of bounds.
Stiff arm came a little late.
At the 12. Kari hands it to Nick Bells. Bells follows his blockers. Bells trying to cut it upfield, lowers his shoulder. Bells, it's going to be about as close to the end zone as you can get without scoring. Got a good push there.
Yeah, Scales did a good job blocking downfield.
So it will be 1st and goal.
I'm sorry, that was Baltimore, not Scales.
They were in Baltimore. Sophomore wide receiver out there.
I think we do have a Wildcat down.
Somebody a little bit banged up on the play. So they'll get him checked out. There's 10:58 remaining here. And they're able to get him up and get him off. And so we'll stay here with it. Coaches talking to the offense here. 1st and goal from the 2. Now, Jay, we got it down here earlier. 1st and goal from the 2. And I had to settle for a field goal. And, that's not something that those coaches wanted to see. And so
that was discussed at halftime, I would bet.
I would imagine it was a topic of conversation. And so we'll see what the call is here. And you see some of those big, tall cats there. Looking out there at Caleb Hackelman and Darrell Smith Jr. Get behind those guys and see if you can't get this thing punched into the end zone.
Well, we always come out of halftime talking about halftime adjustments, and Pleasant Grove's adjustments I think are going to be minor on the defensive side, but the Wildcats definitely need to make some large adjustments to keep these Hawks out of the end zone.
Kari hands the ball off to Bells. Bells stretches it out, jumps over, in, touchdown. Pleasant Grove, Nick Bells.
And the hole that Caleb and Smith just made, you and I could have walked in there, side by side, I think.
Well, I couldn't have run through it, but I would have tried to walk through it. I appreciate the appropriate verbiage there, and we'll catch that replay here as soon as we get the extra point taken care of. Snap is back, a little high. The kick is up. It is good. 31-0 for the Hawks, and we'll try to get this replay of the Nick Bales touchdown. You can see the hole that came in front. There's Hackelman pulling out to the right. And then Big Darrell turning around to clean up anything that may have come from the other side. 31-0 in favor of the Hawks. We'll take a break. You're watching Pleasant Grove Hawk football on Texarkana Game Day. Fields of Faith coming up next Wednesday right here at Pleasant Grove. And that will be a great time here. Encourage all of you to come out to that. Lots of youth groups will be involved, lots of school groups as well. And we expect to have a full stadium here for that. Carter Buxton's kick fielded in the end zone. And we're going to get a return here from the deep man, Aldrin Gill. He's going to be brought down by Jace Elrod, but gets a good return.
Yeah, wise decision.
Yeah, got it up across the 25 all the way out to the 33, and so a 8-yard net gain, as it were.
We'll see what the Wildcats have for Pleasant Grove. This might have a Wildcat offense here.
Yep, we do have a little. Well, it's a backup quarterback. Ball was bottled up there. Jadrian Henderson came in one time earlier after Hornberger's helmet was knocked off. And, he took a pretty good shot there
we saw
by Noah Sexton, and it was, kind of a little banged up.
Yeah, the ankle was
had an ankle tweaked, and so they may have said, hey, this is a pre-district game. We're going to try to get out of this because, Henderson is the backup quarterback. He's in the backfield with Houston. Henderson with a pass completed over the right side. That's Markelrich Finch. He's going to have enough for the first down and just a little soft play over to the right side. Several Hawks in the area and just over the head of Caden McFadden. 1st and 10, ball up at the 44-yard line now. 3 receivers bunched up on the right side. Henderson hands the ball off to Houston. Houston unable to get anything going in the middle, and you can see what the Hawk defense worked on a little bit at halftime. The first man there is Lance Jackson. And Houston, who had pretty good success in the first half in the middle, getting bottled up there now. Parrish using some tempo. Henderson will look over and get the call from the coaches. 2 receivers left side, 1 receiver right side. They do have an H-back in this formation. Adding a little bit of extra protection from the quarterback. He wants to throw, firing into the middle of the field. Almost intercepted out.
And that would have been number 3 for Xavier Johnson for the season.
Now, I think Caden McFadden may have knocked it out of his hand. Caden McFadden playing defense, not knowing that it was his own player he was playing defense against. And Xavier in great position there. Brings up 3rd down now for the Wildcats at the 46-yard line. Send 2 receivers over to the left side in the same formation. Henderson wants to throw, has some men in his face, firing down the field, and it is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Markavian Washington. They're going to throw a flag way, way late on this thing, and I don't know that that's a – oh, no, that was a bang-bang play there.
Yeah, Gibson is going to want to have a little conversation with that line judge.
Yeah, you can't – you have to call the play. You don't call the result. And, yeah, the kid was a little bit slow getting up, but it was not there. He trying to knock the ball out. So we'll see.
He's got great eyesight, though. I'll give him that because he was almost 30 yards away from that.
And they're going to wave it off. Yeah, you've got 2 guys down there covering that. So they're going to wave that one off, and it's going to be 4th down. And, yeah, that's a Interesting call from that position, and the white hat maybe saying, hey, man, you got two other guys that are standing on top of that. Maybe we're going to defer to their judgment on it. And so it'll bring up 4th down now. The offense still out there. And now Paris's coach having a conversation. Hornberger getting his piece. And usually when there's a controversial call, you're going to have both coaches talking to you for just a little bit. So now he's trying to get some clarification on that side as to the call and what happened. So he's trying to get it. I'm not sure that he's going to ever be happy with whatever the explanation is. Just like I'm sure Coach Gibson wouldn't have been happy with whatever the explanation is on the other side. But here we go. We're going to get it rolling, and the punt team coming in for the second time tonight. Jalen Bordley is the man going out deep for the Hawks, standing near his own 25-yard line.
Well, I think that boiled down to just communication with the field judge, who had a little bit better view of that hit and communicating that with the referee and the line judge.
And that's the deal. It was a hard hit.
The line judge has to give up the call.
That's right. Waiting on the punt now is Bordley. High punt. He says get away from it. And it bounces just inside the 40, but takes a big roll for the Wildcats all the way down to the 20. It's about an 18-yard roll on that punt. So the Hawks will have it 1st and 10. They're going to mark it at the 21-yard line. 1st and 10, Pleasant Grove at our own 21. 9 minutes, 3 seconds remaining in the third quarter. The Hawks up big here at homecoming.
Yeah, defense comes out, answers, gets the offense back the ball.
Offense marched down to start this quarter. Nick Bell's punching it in from 2 yards out for a touchdown.
Yeah, the previous game, Pleasant Grove scored on their 8 first possessions.
2 receivers split to each side. Ricari Johnson and company. He wants to throw, looking to his left, firing down the field. Has a man there, picked off. Intercepted. That's number 13, Aldrin Gill. He's the man that made the big return earlier, and he takes a shot from Jalen Bordley. So they get the ball. And Bordley makes the tackle at the end, but it's all the way down near the 30, at the 35-yard line. It will be Paris ball. We'll see. Gill just timed this one well and had a return on. Coach Gibson talked about it. He said Paris,
in years past, they've intercepted well against Pleasant Grove.
It was a clean hit. It was just a hard hit at the end of it there from Bordley. Yeah, he talked about even in the year that they won state, I think 2 interceptions came at the hands of Paris. There's a bug that just flew in here that was wearing tennis shoes. They're going to have to flip the chains around here. They're going to move this to the 50. So did they call a flag on?
May have been some disappointment that was discussed on the other sideline, so going to back it up just a little bit.
Coach might have got him somebody over there on the sideline. May have said something that they weren't supposed to say. George Carlin had a bit about words you can't say on TV. There's also words you can't say on the sideline to the referees. Instead of getting the FCC, you just get a flag and move back to the midfield. But the interception does give the Wildcats back the ball. 1st and 10 for Paris right at midfield. So the Hawk defense back out on the field now. 1 receiver split to each side. Henderson still in, the backup quarterback. Hornberger did not come out on the field into the second half locker room, and that ball is incomplete. And the Hawks were closest to that. Akari Johnson, the man with the closest opportunity.
Yeah, Hudson Harper running a little seam route and just over the almost outstretched hands. of number 17, tight end. He's only a sophomore.
You talk about Hudson Harper. If you look at the logo on our building that's getting built and everything, it says HWH. That's Harrison, Walker, and Harper. That young man affiliated with those folks. So helping out with Pleasant Grove with some of our buildings down here. Man in motion now is number 6, Keyshawn Roberts. He gets the handoff, cuts it upfield into the middle of the Hawk defense, gets it into the 45-yard line down at the 44. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 to go.
Yeah, Lance Jackson making the stop there. He and Wheeler switching sides.
Henderson gets the call from the sideline. The tailback now is Keelan Cooper, number 20. And he gets the handoff, and he gets nowhere. Jamon Wheeler coming in to make a tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a 1-yard loss on the play. And that will be, I know, at least 5 games, or it will be 5 games in a row that Wheeler has had a tackle for loss. 4th down and 5 now. Wildcats keeping the offense on the field. 7:50 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Clock rolling now, 31-0. The Hawk lead here in the 3rd. Cooper moves over to the right of Henderson. Henderson looking left the whole time, wanting to throw. Ball floating down the field, incomplete. Led his receiver too far out of bounds, intended for DeCorian Douglas. That stops the clock with 7:34. It'll be 4th down, and once again the punt team coming in for the Wildcats. A victory tonight will give the Hawks a 5-0 record for only the 4th time in school history. So a good way to start the season and end pre-district. Coach Gibson talking to the student body today during the homecoming pep rally, letting us know about that unique opportunity that the Hawks had tonight out here.
And because it's the first game in district, the biggest game of district is going to be against Gilmer.
Hand the ball off to Jalen Bordley. Bordley coming left. Bordley looking for some room in the middle. Just a good patient run. He's going to have enough for the first down as a flag on the play. It's in the area of a hold when you see it back here. And that's what it's going to be, a hold against the Hawks.
Yeah, Kari took no steps towards the line of scrimmage.
He knew what was happening, and so a good run by Bordley spoiled there by Holt. So that'll move it back 10 yards. It'll be 1st down and 20 from the 35-yard line. But I did like to see that just a good patient run there by Bordley. Got what he could, kind of weaving his way through the defense there. The Hawks now quickly come to the line. Bordley in the backfield with Akari Johnson. 2 receivers right side, 1 left. Jalen gets it. Bordley again looking for some room in the middle, following his blockers. Picks up 7 yards up to the 42. 2nd down and 13 now. Hawks flip the formations in 2 to the left side and quickly come back to the line. Akari rolling left. Caleb Hackelman staying in to help block. Akari Johnson pulling it down now over on the right side. Stiff arms a man near midfield. Akari Johnson across the 50. And another flag coming in. This flag right near the 1st down marker. Akari stepped out inside the Paris 40 at the 39-yard line, but we'll see what the laundry's about. 2 flags out there on the play.
I think one might be a block in the back.
Look at the run around here to the right side, and we'll see if we can see anything.
There.
Yeah, that's.
For some reason, they don't let you do that.
No, pretty big one there, and so, yeah, that will come back. Still may be a net gain of about a yard.
And I agree, they should not let you do that.
Well, it's going to be a 15-yard variety. Yeah, no, you need to be able to at least see if you're going to get smoked. 6:51 remaining in the 3rd quarter here. 2nd down and 16 to go for the Hawks after a couple of penalties. Split receivers to each side. Bell's in at tailback. He moves out into the flat. Akari again is picked off, trying to get it to Jackson Gibson. And just short-armed it a little bit, and the defender was able to step in. And so on 2 consecutive drives, a Wildcat interception gives Paris the ball. And that time, Gibson just in the middle of nothing but white jerseys. And Aldrin Gill has his, no, that's not, that's number 12 this time. That's Zamarian Robinson with the interception. Coach Gibson told me that this team has just kind of been a bugaboo when it comes to interceptions for the Hawks, and tonight, once again, that is the case. Pleasant Grove has a fumble recovery. Now it's 2 interceptions for the Wildcats. They also recovered one of their own fumbles earlier, and so they are winning the turnover battle. 6:39 remaining in the third. 1st and 10, Paris at the Hawk 40-yard line. 2 receivers stacked to the right side, 2 on the left side. Henderson, quarterback, wants to throw, drops back, caught. Nope, incomplete. Markelrick Finch unable to haul it in. He says it's on him. 2nd down and 10 now.
Got Landon West there on the coverage.
2 to the left side, 2 stacked up on the right side. Henderson tries to get the Hawks to jump. They weren't ready for a play, though. Play clock rolling inside of 13. And he's going to move Chris Houston over to the left side. Hand the ball off to Houston, and he is bottled up immediately. The Hawks adjusting well to that. Lance Jackson collapsing into the middle to bring the ball carrier down. Picked up 1 yard on the play. 3rd down and 9 to go. And again, kind of their bread and butter in the first half, and the Hawks able to sniff it out here in the second. They're going to send 3 receivers now over to the wide side of the field, overloaded over there. Finch by himself on the right side. He's caught a couple of big passes tonight. Vicarian Douglas is wide to the left. Henderson rolling left, wants to throw. Firing, tipped, incomplete. Ty Boozer got a hand on it.
Yeah, Ty sets in there in the zone and was able to tip that ball.
4th down and 9 for the Wildcats. They're going to keep the offense out here on the Hawk 40. The last interception ended with a turnover on downs, and we'll see if the Hawk defense can do the same thing once again here. 4th and 9 from the 39. The Wildcats look to the sideline for the call. 5 seconds on the play clock. And they get it snapped. Nope. Tom Brady punt. And not super effective. Tried to catch the Hawks off guard. May have caught the punter off guard. So the Hawks will get it 1st and 10 after the 7-yard punt. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing Akari coming out this series after throwing the 2 interceptions. I assume he's still going to want to throw the ball up.
He might want to try it. So here we go, bringing them back out. Jalen Bordley will be the tailback in the formation. Jabrian Baltimore is lined up on the left side. Gibson on the right side. Hand the ball to Bordley. Bordley trying to sniff out some room in the middle. Several Paris Wildcats stack him up, but not until he gets up to the 42-yard line. 2nd down and 2 to go after the 8-yard pickup on 1st down by the senior tailback.
Bordley has had a great night so far tonight.
He moves to the left side of the formation. Jackson in at H-back, and he's just going to follow his blockers around that side. Jalen Bordley, there's a flag that comes in, though. Bordley has enough for the 1st down, and I tell you, the last offensive drive was kind of plagued by some flags as well. And again, we got a hold against the Hawks. So we're going to back it up 10 yards and still have 2nd down. I think maybe they're going to get Cade Martin on that one. So it'll be second down and 12, all the way back at the 32 now. Hand it to Bordley again. Bordley, room around the left side. Gets it back across the original line of scrimmage inside the chains up across the 35 to the 36. We're going to have third down and about 8 to go. Not ideal position. And again, a couple of untimely penalties on these last offensive drives have kind of stifled this offense some. 4 minutes and 40 seconds with the clock rolling here in the third quarter on homecoming night for the Hawks.
Started to identify a little bit of chippiness out there.
Yeah, a little bit of unhappy feelings and maybe some disgruntled folks after some hits. Bell's the ball carrier now, gets it up to the 45-yard, excuse me, up to the 40-yard line. Hawks will be short of the first down by about 3.5 yards. You feel like we will probably see the Cade Martin punt.
Well, as well as the defense is playing, you possibly go for it, but you want to keep the shutout intact as well.
Yeah, I would probably just punt it down there. Again, 3:50 rolling here in the third quarter. 8 seconds on the play clock, but the Hawks are going to send the offense out there. We'll see if Akari tries to punt. Nope, he's going to throw it. Nope, he's going to keep it. Akari Johnson has the first down. Ball comes out, though. He takes a shot at the end of that. Hawks get on the ball. It's Pleasant Grove football.
First down.
Caden Allen. Caden Allen recovered it. Let's see this hit here. Akari took a hard hit. There's some big hits here in this. I just hit from behind. Kind of got his arm stretched out. Oh, went back inside. And so the ball goes over on downs. It bounced backwards. And so it is Paris ball. So what was a first down?
I guess I was hopeful that the Paris Wildcat actually had control of it
for a minute, yeah. Would have been nice. Well, we've worn out this section of turf here in the third quarter. These last couple of drives for each team have, I think, stayed between the 30s on both sides. Henderson with a man in motion, hands it off to Aldrin Gill. He's a speedster, but he's unable to make the corner.
Yeah,
Hawks do a good job of spreading it out.
Yeah, Lance Jackson did a great job coming off his blocker to make that tackle.
No gain on the play means it's second down and 10. And we'll be inside of 3 minutes when this one is snapped. In the third. 2 receivers to each side. Henderson is the quarterback now. Chris Houston is the tailback to his left with 2 receivers to each side. Henderson throws it out, caught. Contrevious Booker. He's going to be tackled near the 40-yard line by Noah Sexton. Bring up third down and 7 to go. Wildcats eating up a lot of clock here in the third quarter, not any sort of intensity. Henderson playing with a brace on his right knee. Fakes the handoff to Roberts, throws it trying to hit Houston out of the backfield, but it falls incomplete. Chase Elrod in coverage for the Hawks. Fourth down.
Yeah, Jamon Wheeler just putting pressure on Henderson there.
Offense staying on the field here on fourth down. Last time had a punt from Henderson. I bet you we don't see that again. Might see Chris Houston trying to get something done here. 2 receivers to each side. They look over with 10 seconds left on the play clock. And I don't know if they're going to get a snap off or not. Nope, they're going to call a timeout. Timeout. Paris. The Wildcats take a timeout. We're going to take a timeout as well. Timeouts brought to you each and every week by Texas A&M Texarkana. You're watching Pleasant Grove Hawk football on Texarkana Game Day.
What's it like at Texarkana College? Life-changing. Starting here means you can go anywhere. We offer student support, student life, dual credit, and hands-on training. And now you can enroll anytime. We'll help you start your future at Texarkana College. Get started by visiting us on campus or online at texarkanacollege.edu. Your future starts here.
Welcome back here. 2 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It is 4th down and 7 for the Wildcats. They took a timeout. They wanted to talk about it as they keep the offense out here on the field. Again, Jadrian Henderson has been the quarterback. He's a sophomore. He's been the QB out here the entire second half. Traven Hohenberger did not come back out on the field after intermission. Henderson has Chris Houston to his right in the formation. 4th and 7, Paris. Henderson wants to throw. Has a man behind him. He gets it right there, just a little wide hot. That's Hudson Harper, sophomore. They tried to get it to him earlier. He catches it that time. And back in the day when I would play Madden, that was just called a wide hot route. You got your tight end, just a seam, and throw it right over the top. And
he's going to be a great athlete for Paris for a while.
Yeah, good-looking kid, and kind of galloped on down the field there. So that makes it 1st and 10, gets it down to the 22-yard line. Paris threatening in Hawk territory once again. Clock rolling inside of 1:40 now in the third. Henderson trying to run to the right side, and he's going to be hit by Jackson. And then Mathis Buxton comes in to clean it up. Be a loss of a couple on the play. 2nd down and 12.
Yeah, I think that play was designed to go the other direction.
A little bit of confusion it looked like out there.
Pleasant Grove defense looking to tighten up here.
2nd down and 12 as they send 2 receivers to the right side of the formation, and they get it out there. And that is caught on the right side by Markerick Finch. He's been the primary target tonight in the passing game. He's going to get it down inside the 15-yard line, down near the 14. It's going to bring up 3rd down and short. Wildcats quickly back to the line. Again, they want to see what the call is, and now coach says go, 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 call it, let's go. Gives it, hand it off to Houston. And he is stacked up. I'm interested to see where they give him progress. It's going to be close to 1st down yardage, but he was once again stacked up by that Hawk defense, and it's going to be 4th down, 4th and about half a yard or so. Of course, the offense staying out there inside the 15. Wheeler on the tackle for the Hawks that time, but they got about half of what they needed for the 1st down. Henderson and Houston. Henderson wanting to throw toward the end zone. It's intercepted. Hawks have it. 1st down, Pleasant Grove. Xavion Johnson. 3 interceptions on the season, and Jay earlier, K-Mac robbed him of 1, and he said, hey, I've got to get this interception here, and catches it, goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line. So now the Hawks will be starting in the shadow of their own end zone. There's young Mr. Pirtle there, one of the ball boys, walking down the field.
Xavion doing a great job maintaining control going to the ground.
14 and a half seconds remaining in the third quarter. I would imagine we'll see a Akari Johnson, Nick Bells, or Jalen Bordley run here, depending on the personnel. Nick Bells coming out at tailback. Jalen Bordley lined up far to the left at receiver. Inside of him is Jackson Gibson. Akari Johnson hands the ball to Nick Bells. Bells trying to follow his blockers. He'll get out near the 5-yard line. They'll give him credit to the 6. It'll be 2nd down and 5. But that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. We'll take the long walk toward the north end zone, and we'll start the final stanza here. The Hawks lead 31-0 here on homecoming. You're watching Pleasant Grove Hawk football on Texarkana Game Day. Welcome back here to Hawk Stadium. You hear the band and the cheerleaders and the drill team in the backfield. They're fired up. Your Hawks leading 31-0 as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. 2nd down and 5 to go. The Hawks have made it out to the 6-yard line. Nick Bell's in at tailback. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 receiver to the left side. Akari Johnson and company with the snap. Fake the handoff to Bells. Akari wants to throw. Caught out on the right side is Jalen Boardley. No, that's Torian Phillips on the reception there. Boardley was out a little bit wider than him. That's going to move the sticks. Gets it up across the 15 to the 16-yard line. 1st and 10 Hawks from there. Quickly back to the line. Akari, fake handoff again. Throws, caught by Torian again. Phillips trying to get around the right side. He'll be about a yard or so shy of the first. Gets it up to the 25. This drive starting all the way at the 1-yard line after Xavion Johnson's 3rd interception of the season. Gave the ball back to the Hawks. Torian with the catch over on the left side of the formation now. Gets it up to the 30. 1st down. Nakari Johnson and Torian Phillips say, hey, we'll take it for a minute. 3 plays in a row and 2 first downs.
I'm thinking if he had taken that to the outside, he may have gotten a few more yards out of that.
1st and 10 Hawks at the 31 now. And make us pause for a second, get everybody switched out. Got an H back in. Hand the ball off to Nick Bells. Bells trying to dive forward. He's going to be wrapped up after a short gain. That time, the Wildcats doing a good job.
Kavarius Cooper there on the stop.
Bells picked up 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. The referee wants the clock stopped. And now he wants it running. I don't understand any of that. So here we go. 2 receivers right side, 1 left. We do have an H-back in the formation. Fake the handoff to Bells. Akari rolling right. Throws. Caught. Landon West. We talked about him in the pregame. Coming out of that H-back. That time comes across the formation. Gave Akari an outlet there, and that's one of those. Akari had a couple of options. He could either keep it or get it to West, depending on what the defense did. And I'm not sure West was 100% ready for it. The ball kind of hit him in the face mask there, but he brought it in, turned the corner, moved the sticks. 1st and 10 Hawks at the 45.
Yeah, he continues to be a target for Akari coming into this game. 12-yard average. Able to get at least 10 yards there.
Hawks in the same formation, and now somebody moved a little bit early. Be a 5-yard penalty, move it back to the 40-yard line. False start penalty will make it 1st down and 15 once we get ready to play. 9:29 remaining in the contest. Hawks leading 31-0 here on homecoming. the band just jamming it out there. 2 receivers left side, 1 receiver right side. H-back is Landon West to the left. Fake the handoff. Ball is tipped and incomplete. Boy, that was dangerous. Bounced off of Bordley's hands, and I think if the defender had been paying just a little bit more of attention, he may have intercepted that one. He might have been trying to tee up a hit instead of the interception. Falls incomplete, 2nd down and 15.
Yeah, fortunate break there for Pleasant Grove that the ball was not intercepted off of a tip drill. But that's why you do practice those. A little different than trying to catch a spiral coming right at you.
Exactly. Bordley and Gibson on the left side, 2 receivers on the right side as well. Akari wants to throw, looking left, now looking back right, has a man in his face, breaks free of him. Firing it down the field, has a man if the ball gets there, incomplete. And that one went through the hands of the defender as well, trying to get it to Torian Phillips, not enough on the ball. Falls incomplete and almost had the 3rd interception of the second half for Paris. Akari, good play there to get out of the would-be sack.
Yeah, just underthrew just a little bit. Having to come back for that.
Various Cooper trying to see that one in. 3rd down and 15 now.
Lance Jackson.
Akari, quarterback keeper into the middle. Gets it up near midfield. Still going to be 7 yards shy of the 1st down. Looked like maybe more was available there. Good job by Malik Johnson of the Wildcats to come in and stop that after the short gain. 4th down and 7.
Yeah, with that play call, Coach Gibson had already decided that Cade Martin was not going to be needed to punt the ball.
Absolutely. 8.5 minutes with the clock rolling. Hawk offense coming back out here on the field. Haven't punted one time tonight. And tells Nick Bells to widen out some. There's a Xavier in Baltimore, though. Nick Bells in at tailback, and tell you what, I thought he was bottled up in the backfield. They're going to mark him about a yard short. Thought he had a chance to get there, but the ball will go over on downs. And the Wildcats have a man slow to get up. That's Matthew Rowland. He was the one that was putting some good pressure on Akari earlier. Looks like he's caught a cramp or something out there. But man, I thought Bells was bottled up right at the line of scrimmage, and that thing almost turned into a 1st down. That play kind of took a second to get started and really seemed kind of bottled up from the beginning here. You can see needed 7 here, and we'll see. Again, watching the.
Well, I think the last 4 or 5 yards he got was he was low.
Yeah, he was just trying to get something going. Had a couple of good blocks there. Almost went down there, and they marked it well. You see his knee go down, and
our job's gotten a little tougher. We've got a few new names out there on the field right now.
Some other cats on defense doing some stuff. Brody Watts out.
Jonah Dempsey
at linebacker,
playing defensive end.
Henderson wants to throw, looking to the right. Caught once again by Finch.
Jordan Patterson there on the coverage.
So Finch has had a pretty good night tonight for the Wildcats. You know, Coach Darby and company want to keep the goose egg up there on the board, but always good to get some guys reps and let them.
And I don't have a 27 on my.
I don't either. I got Kamarian Jones is in there at defensive tackle. Little zoom sweep to Keyshawn Roberts. He tries to make the corner. He's brought down.
I don't have a 46 on my
number 46. We're going to have to get an updated roster from Coach Gibson.
Well, I'm glad to be calling some new names and names we don't know yet. Getting some game time in. Could be invaluable by the end of the season.
Absolutely. 2 receivers left side, 1 to the right side. This pass complete from Henderson to Cortevius Booker. And he's going to get all the way down inside the Hawk 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Well, Brody Watts was one of the Hawks there, and then number 15, Jordan Patterson, making that stop.
So just a good little tunnel screen there to Contrevious Booker. And Paris threatening now down at the Hawk 12-yard line. 7 minutes remaining in the ball game. Here at home. 2 receivers right side, 1 left. And nowhere to go for the ball carrier.
Caden McFadden there for the answer to keep that to a short gain, if any.
Keelan Cooper was coming in to give Chris Houston a spell there, and yeah, no gain on the play for him. Now the Hawk band getting cranked up with Paris right here in front of them. That's a good weapon to have. Jay likes the likes football, and he likes keeping up with that, and he likes the band to be involved with what's going out there.
They get it loud
on the. Well, I was talking about Jay Sutton, but Jay
Sutton.
Davis does like it as well. We got all the Jays involved in this, and man, it's going to be a sack against Henderson, but Noah Sexton and Ty Boozer kind of bounced off of each other there, and I thought one of them might have knocked the other one out there for a second. Henderson fortunate just to get out of the way before taking that, but it will be a loss on the play back to the 19-yard line.
Just got some different names, but the bend don't break defense has showed up.
3rd down and about 18. The Hawks need to make 2 more stops here on defense. Henderson throwing to the left. Intercepted. Hawks have it. Torian Phillips. And nobody's going to get him. Torian Phillips.
And when we see this replay, he saw it when the play started.
Kind of a little slow looping pass over to the right, and you're right, Torian was there waiting on it. Somewhere around 90 yards on the return. We'll look at the replay here and see where that came, and they got him a construction hat on. We'll get the kick in, and then we'll check out the replay on that one. Waiting on Caleb Jones to extend this Pleasant Grove lead. Snap is back, the kick is up, and it's good. 5:24 remaining in the ball game. Pleasant Grove leading 38-0, and let's check out this Texar replay. And again, like you said, Torian saw this Henderson pass the whole way. He got that at the 24-yard line, and then 76, and he looks up there at the homecoming crowd and knows nobody.
Yeah, I think he was
close to him.
I think he was looking for Jace Ramos to say congratulations.
Congratulations for winning homecoming. You saw Jalen Bordley and Nick Bells running down the sideline, congratulating him there. Just a few things. North Lamar still up over Wills Point. Hooks gets the win in Paul Hewitt, 47-0. New Boston beat Redwater, 28-16. Grace Community leading Spring Hill, 38-27. Texas High now up big over Hallsville, 42-7, so they'll get their first district win. Sulphur Springs up 43-22 now over Liberty Ilo. Gilmer up 48-35 over Walnut Grove. That a little bit of a back and forth game. Carthage up 31-14 over Bullard. Buxton set to kick, line drive. And it's going to go out of bounds, and we're going to have a flag here. And I don't know if he just kind of caught that ball funky or what happened, but it came off like a knuckleball. And he is not happy with himself. You can see as he went back, and so we're going to move this thing up a little bit to the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from there. 5 minutes and 24 seconds to work with. They got all the way down to the Hawk 12-yard line. That Hawk defense with a big tackle in the backfield, a sack, and then the Torian Phillips interception.
Well, my question coming into the game was how Pleasant Grove was going to play Trevin Hohenberger, and only seeing him for the first half, I think Pleasant Grove did a good job.
Absolutely. Bottled him up, and good hard hits. Henderson's pass is complete to Robinson. And he's going to be dropped for a loss of 1 on the play. Jordan Patterson making that tackle.
He did a great job coming off the blocker.
Terrell Patton out there. Big KJ Greer out there for the Hawks as well. Jackson Byrne out at defensive end. Over here on the left side. Henderson with a tailback and an H-back with him in the backfield. Hands the ball to the tailback, looking for some room in the middle. Hawks still reading it well. Short gain on the play. 46 making that tackle. Again, don't have his name on there. He did well. 3rd down and 6 to go now. 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, they really relied on those short passes or quick passes to be able to get some yardage in the second half. So my assumption is that's what they're going to come out and try to do again.
And spread some receivers out to each side. Henderson rolling to his left. Hit in the backfield and sacked. That's number 21, Jace Elrod, the sophomore. Playing outside linebacker, records his first sack of the season. Just comes untouched, gets off of a would-be block there from the tailback, Keelan Cooper.
I think that just proves it should have been a quick pass.
It should have been a lot quicker than it was. Henderson couldn't get it out. Elrod making the tackle. And now the punt team comes in on 4th down and 16. The clock rolling now, 3:30 left in the game. Roland Ritchie, the man back deep for the Hawks.
And he's got wheels.
This high kick, though, will not have a return opportunity and does not make it to midfield.
KJ Reeder caught that
KJ
ball.
Reeder, he was out of the game tonight, but still got himself involved. No return on the play for Reeder, however. Goes out at the 44. It'll be 1st and 10 Hawks from there.
Got Fields of Faith coming. Just saw 3 minutes and 16 seconds left.
Yes, sir. This Wednesday, Fields of Faith right here at Hawk Stadium. Doors open at 6. First 1,000 through the gate. Get a free box of Chicken Express. And they have been a
Eric says I don't
sponsor
count
of this thing. You don't count in the 1,000. No, sir. No, sir. Don't count in the 1,000. But you can still come join us. It's going to be a great night. Bring your church, bring your youth group, bring your...
Well, game day's going to be there early, so I'll be there.
Yeah, you'll be there in time for chicken. Yes, we will have it live streamed right here on Texarkana Game Day. And I'll tell you, Jordan Patterson made the big tackle on the last thing. Now he comes in at running back. Shifty little run there, gets it inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line, 1st and 10.
I like what I see on both sides of the balls for him.
Little high snap. Patterson again on the carry. And maybe the snap kind of disrupted the timing on that. He's brought down right near the line of scrimmage. Tadrick Dawson, LaChostin Grigsby on the tackle for Paris. 2:35 now with the clock rolling. Kari Johnson brings him out, still has Jordan Patterson in at tailback. And it's going to be the Jordan Patterson show. Coming left, Patterson breaks free of a tackle at the 20, drug down. I think Justin Castile may have taken the worst of that one. Patterson got thrown into him from behind, but Patterson moves the sticks once again. 1st and 10, Hawks at the 15, and Jay, I thought he was going to break that one free.
Yeah, Castile was just doing his job, blocking downfield, and all of a sudden had his own player thrown into the back of him.
Patterson, a junior ball carrier out there, and yeah, made some good plays on both sides of the ball here in the 4th quarter. 2 receivers right side, 1 to the left side. Hand off to Patterson again. Patterson looking for some room around the right. Spun forward. Patterson's going to be down inside the 10, near the 7, and Jordan Patterson may mess around and get himself into pay dirt. 1:29 left, and I think if we get another first down, I would imagine we do not advance it from there. Hand off Patterson. Patterson looking for room, but he's going to be in. Touchdown, Jordan Patterson.
Jordan Patterson is only a junior, so I am very excited to see him having such a great night tonight.
I tell you, he's got those little skinny legs, kind of a Darren McFadden look out there, but can run the ball well. Nice shifty there in the hole, and there he just found a little seam and got a gash there, and I tell you, he has not been brought down by first contact the whole time we saw him there. Jay just threw a cricket out that was coming to visit us, and somebody sitting on the 8th row around midfield.
Not it.
May have had a visitor. And there are the flag runners going across. Those guys have had lots of practice tonight, although we did have the homecoming court out there running it. That's one of the coolest things that we see out there. 1:11 left in the ball game.
And hopefully they were wearing their flats.
Pleasant Grove leading this thing 45-0 here on homecoming. So, again, for the 4th time in school history, the Hawks will start 5-0. We'll be off next Friday, and then we travel down to Gilmer to start district play. District kicks off with a big one down there in Buckeye Country. Waiting on the kickoff from Carter Buxton. And, build it inside the 1-yard line. This time it's Malik Johnson on the return, and Johnson will be knocked out of bounds by number 27 for the Hawks, who is not on here. We got to figure out who that young man is. He's been involved in a few plays.
So we'll get us a new roster for this
Yeah,
Gilmer game.
Tell Coach Gibson he's adding folks on here and not sharing it with us. I didn't have it in my electronic version either, so got to get some things lined out here.
Well, the good thing is that we may have some young men that have earned their spot from the JV team.
Absolutely.
And proven why.
Jackson Burns still out there at defensive end. Brody Watts out there on the field. Ball bounces around. Henderson gets it. Number 46. Again, don't have his name, but he got back there quickly. KJ Greer, which he's in quite a bit. He's a sophomore, though, and as you like to see him getting as much action as he can. Those guys up there on the front, really no substitute for real game situations. Henderson and company now with 30 seconds left. Hand the ball off. This is Keelan Cooper trying to come around the right side. He's going to be brought down near the 45. And again,
well,
the man who will not be named.
My expectations for Pleasant Grove is the defense is going to have good games. And once again, they proved that correct. And definitely saw some growth on the offensive side. You know, Pleasant Grove, I think they're setting themselves up well for district play.
21 seconds left. A couple of snaps left in this one. Adrian Henderson hands it off to Keyshawn Roberts, the man in motion. He tries to come around the left side. He'll be knocked out of bounds by Jaden Scales. That stops the clock with 13 seconds left. Be a little shy of the first down. Chris Barker over there manning the first down marker there. DPS officer by day, football sideline official by night, and also school board member here at Pleasant Grove. So just
Thursdays at noon.
Multi-faceted public servant out there in many ways. He'll really appreciate me saying that. I'll probably get a text later.
And a good man.
Excellent man. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left side for Henderson. He's going to throw. Has enough for the first down. Forward progress gets him there, but the clock will continue to run, and that's going to be the way this ball game ends. Your final from homecoming. Pleasant Grove, 45. Paris, 0. The Hawks with a big homecoming win. Jay?
Jalen Borley.
If you told me.
Yeah, Jalen Borley had a very, very good night. I'm going to be very, very interested to see what the stats are on his line, his lines for tonight. And Kari just continues to play well.
I went in at halftime. Coach Gibson's dad was up here and we were talking about stuff, and I told Coach Kennedy, I said, y'all need to run the ball. He's like, well, you got to talk to him. He's the offensive side. And I said, Coach, I want to be out of here by 10:03. And he said, 10:03? I said, yes, I want to be out by 10:03. He came out and just told me, hey, it's 10:01. So you like to see it. But, yeah, Bordley had a great night tonight. Akari Johnson able to throw the ball around very well. Nick Bells got in on the scoring tonight. The defense getting on the board with Torion Phillips. Interception return for a touchdown. Jordan Patterson came in. He got a score at the end of the game as kind of in the last thing there. Really had some good running. Like to see that junior out there doing some stuff. And so, like I said, overall, here we are, 5-0. We do not have a cupcake pre-district schedule. We have had to travel. We've had to work hard to try to find teams. It's funny you talk about that. Coach Gibson, even now in his office, has the first 5 weeks of next season up there because he knows he's having to look now to try to find some teams. But I haven't seen anything too crazy from the offense this year. Nothing, just come out doing what we're doing. Not any kind of big wrinkles or anything. A lot of that you think we're probably saving it up for district, but have really seen a balanced attack. Not one heavy side to one or the other, not too much running, not too much passing. And anybody that's going to line up against this Pleasant Grove team, they're going to have a lot of things that they have to prepare for on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. And I think that's the best thing you can do as you get ready to go into district is take in 5 wins, take in 5 quality wins, games that have been like this tonight where you can come out and kind of everything works. Games where you got hit in the mouth a couple of times like we did over in Prosper versus Midland Christian and had to come back against. And then a Brock team that, man, we had to win right at the end. And so we've won in a variety of ways. But the most important is that we come out 5-0 ready to move into district. And I'm excited to see how this thing progresses.
Well, I'm just hopeful for a very, very safe and fun evening for the young men and women of Pleasant Grove going to homecoming tomorrow. And then 2 weeks of very good practices as Pleasant Grove starts their district play with the team that is expected to give Pleasant Grove, the best test in district. And, I think that Gilmer will be up for the task.
Absolutely.
They've definitely sharpened their themselves with this season as well. So I'm looking forward to a good game.
Should be a great game down there in Gilmer. Again, homecoming dance is tomorrow, so that means if you're going to go out to eat early, and because those kids will be out doing that. Next Wednesday, Fields of Faith right here at Hawk Stadium with Red River FCA, the first of 6 Fields of Faith happening in the Red River region with Red River FCA. And then next Saturday right here, the Pleasant Grove Marching Invitational. Come check out all the bands and, of course, the Pleasant Grove Pride in Motion Band. Jay, it's been a fun 5 weeks. We'll take a week off, and we will be back here in 2 weeks on October 6th.
That sounds great.
October 6th, and hopefully everything works for us down there in Gilmer, and we'll bring it to you right here on Texarkana Game Day. Once again, thank you to all of the sponsors who help make this happen. We bring it to you free of charge each and every week, and we cannot do that without all the folks that sponsor us. And thanks to Jay Strickland coming and talking to us. Go get you some fancy Christmas lights on your house, and then you have stuff that you can use all season long. So for Matt Fry, Jay Davis, and the entire Texarkana Game Day crew, we want to wish you a great weekend. Pray that God blesses you and yours, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. This is Pleasant Grove Hawk Football on Texarkana Game Day.